Down the back straightaway to turn number 4. Then we fall back to the 22G car being driven tonight by Paul Guglielmone out of Vacaville, California. Guglielmone. Big time race. Good to have him back out here. Next we've coming out, we've got 28G. Clark Guglielmone out of Vacaville, California. And we have the 83 of Kellen Chadwick out of Oakley, California. Kellen started racing full-size cars in 2001. Very quickly went to victory lane. First day main, he qualified in a dirt modified. He won at the age of 16. Had a Rookie of the Year that same year. Won the West Coast National in 2020 and the Wild West Modified Shootout Speed Week champion in 2019. Kellen Chadwick in the 83 car. Paul Guglielmone still out there. Then we fall back to a 28K Buddy Nist out of Oakley, California. Buddy, the 2019 track champion here for the IMCA Modified. In 2018, he was the Young Guns champion down at Doolin and Desert in Las Vegas. And won Rookie of the Year in 2015 here at Antioch Speedway. Buddy in the 28K. U81, that is Bobby Motts Jr. A fast champion here at Antioch Speedway. Out of San Pablo, California. Clark Guglielmone and Kellen Chadwick. We'll get a couple extra laps here. Kellen Chadwick, fastest for hot laps with the modifieds of a 15.551. Jim Bennett second quickest. Clark Guglielmone third quickest. Fourth was Paul Guglielmone. Then Terry DiCarlo Jr. rounding up top 5 for the fastest cars. Trevor Climans with 6. Other cars in the field not getting times on the transponder. Running a little ahead of the schedule right now. We got the hot laps in. Not quite ready to start yet. Great time if you're here in the stands. Head on down, get yourself a hot dog, hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, French fries, nachos, popcorn, ice cold soda, beer like Bud Light, Modelo, Corona. Hey, want to give a shout out to our track sponsors while we're killing some time here, waiting for the 6 o'clock hour to approach us. Pacific Coast General Engineering, I want to say thanks to them. They stepped up this year. They are the new sponsor, title sponsor for the Hobby Stocks, Pacific Coast General Engineering. So it is the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks. You'll be hearing that all year long. I want to say thanks to them for stepping up and sponsoring the Hobby Stocks and the racetrack. General Plumbing Supply Company out there in Brentwood, California. Their phone number is 925-634-6660. That's General Plumbing Supply Company in Brentwood, California. 925-634-6660. Place to go for all your plumbing supply needs. Check them out. General Plumbing Supply Company in Brentwood, California. McCauley's Agricultural and Pest Services. They do lawn and tree care. They do weed spraying. They do pest services. You can call them at 925-634-1255. 925-634-1255. McCauley's Agricultural and Pest Services, another proud sponsor here at Antioch Speedway. Also, Coco Farms, another proud sponsor. You see their big old banner on the back straight away. Give a big shout out to them. And need any other services, look them up. Find them right here in Antioch, Coco Farms. Nick Buffler, General Auto Repair, and Rick Car Body. That's Nick DiCarlo, 925-550-6553. I'll give him a shout out. Nick DiCarlo, winner last week here at Antioch Speedway. First time in 2 years for the IMCA Modified. Delta Transmission and Drive Lines, the proud sponsor here at Antioch Speedway. Their phone number 925-754-1870. 254-1870. They do foreign and domestic transmissions. They do automatic. They do standard. They do rear differentials, transfer cases, and of course drive one. Check them out here in Antioch. Delta Transmission. C&J Favalora Trucking. They are located in Martinez, California. Another proud sponsor here at Antioch Speedway. That's C&J Favalora Trucking. And that's heard, we are doing a live look-in on our Facebook page. I want to say thanks for tuning in. If you want to see all the racing action, you get a slide on over to AntiochSpeedway.tv, AntiochSpeedway.tv, and you can check them out. Check us out for a great night of racing. Continue on with our sponsors. I want to say thanks to Polar Bear Rolled Ice Cream. Went over there the other night, and oh my goodness, I had some great. I did the pina colada on the other night when I was there. Oh, 4 or 5 other flavors. Well, there's lots of flavors I want to try, but 4 or 5 others that absolutely have to try. If you've never been there, folks, Polar Bear Rolled Ice Cream, they make the ice cream in front of you. This isn't coming out of a machine. They're making it right in front of you. They pour it on this flat surface that's chilled at 20 below zero, and they mix it up. They put your toppings in there. They chop it up. They let it freeze, and then they roll it, and it is so yummy. And they put more toppings on top. It is just fantastic. And the first I was with had the s'mores. That one was really good as well. Check them out. Polar Bear Gold Ice Cream over there on Main Street in Oakley, California. Print Club here in Antioch, California. It's another proud sponsor. For all your printing needs, give them a call. Print Club here in Antioch, California. Cresco Equipment Rentals for all your equipment rentals needs. No place you need to go besides Cresco. They are located all over the country, but local is the place to go. If you need to rent something small to something big, you need to rent a big backhoe, a grader, or something as small as a concrete vibrator. You can call Cresco. That is the place to go for all your equipment rental needs. A beautiful night for racing here. You know, there was some concern about the weather that was moving in or is going to go through the area, and folks, it skirted by a little bit, gave a little extra moisture to the racetrack, and we now have a beautiful racetrack getting ready to go here in just a few minutes when the racing action kicks off. And I want to say thank you, Fabulous Bob, getting ready to climb back up on his perch as we get ready for racing action. We will have Fabulous Bob dancing in a groove at some point this season for sure. He heard me talking about dancing, and he's going to run away now. I see how he is. Fabulous Bob, longtime flagman here at Antioch Speedway. I want to say thanks to him and all our officials down in the infield. See some of them gathered over there in turns 3 and 4. Just communicating, looking at the stuff, and getting ready for the racing action tonight. They put a lot of work. They come in hours early and get things set up, and they're here all night long, going to accident scenes and helping out, and making sure the drivers are safe and get those cars off the track to get back to racing as well. Katrina is photography. She is our official photographer here at Antioch Speedway. She is the IMCA registered photographer. You can check her stuff out at Katrina Ness Photography on Facebook. She does some great photography of racing actions, and I photobomb as often as I can. Not sure if she sells any of those, but I definitely photobomb. That's the nice thing about shooting film. I can photobomb and not cost a film. With that, I want to say thanks to Rich up here. He is in charge of the racing action out on the racetrack. He is our race director. Andrea, our head of timing and scoring. I want to say thanks to her. The Bob and Kevin Show. They run our online stream and the camera down there. Thanks to Bob and Kevin, the Hulkster, and just stomp on it, Bob, for all you guys and what you do. And I'm Wiley Wade. I'm your host for the evening. Chris Bennett will be joining me in a little bit. But right now, we are getting ready to go racing. I hear cars rolling out on the racetrack, folks. It is time to go racing with the Delta Dwarf cars. Kicking things off first. Going to do a couple laps packing in. We have got ourselves 3 heat races for the Delta Dwarf cars. Heat race number 1 looks like this. There's going to be Charlie Correa on the point, leading the cars to the field for the heat race number 1. He's got a Tracy, California in the 0 car. To his outside will be Travis Day out of Concord, California in the 88 Double D. Row number 2, it is Ellie Russo. out of Bay Point, California, in the 31 Double D, and Chance Russell in the 8-12 Double D. He's out of Antioch, California. In row number 3, Devin Cameron all the way up from Dublin, California. It's not that 18 Double D, and Jack Haverty out of Parts Unknown in the 85 Double D, rounding out the 6-car field for heat race number 1 for the Delta Dwarf Cars here at Antioch Speedway tonight. If you're watching online, and you're watching on Facebook Live as we're doing a live drop-in, if you lose the Facebook Live when that cuts out, head on over to Antioch Speedway TV and subscribe for all tonight's action. Again, the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and these very same Delta Dwarf Cars all on the racing surface tonight, putting on some great racing action as we had last week as well. Travis Day, right now kind of at the point of the field as we're doing this mud packing. He is our 2020 track champion for the Delta Dwarf Cars. Didn't have quite a successful year last year. Still ran good, but didn't quite finish up where he wanted to as the champion again. Set his sights on doing that again this year. Charlie Correa retired for about a year and a half, I think. Or at least wasn't racing here for about a year and a half. And then mid-season last year, picked up the car again, put it together, and started going racing one more time. Charlie out of Tracy, California. The 812 of Chance Russell was running good and then got another car, bought a car as Dennis Gilcrease's old car, and has really picked things up. A young man putting on some very fast laps in that 812. Look for him in victory lane before the end of this year as well. Behind him, Ellie Russo won the West Coast Championship for the amateur division, or in the West Coast Dwarf Cars Association, and won her first main event here at Antioch Speedway last year in a very dominating style. She had to hold off one of the best in the business, Kevin Moralio, the 2021 champion, and hold him off. Had to hold off Danny Wagner, and held them both off and took home that win, and was extremely excited when she did. It was great to have her in victory lane. Jack Haverty, longtime competitor in the Dwarf Cars. Jack is the vice president of the Delta Dwarf Car Association Club with Danny Wagner as the president. But Jack out there, another strong runner in that 85 Double D. Devin Cameron in the 18 Double D. He'll be starting inside row number 3. He is out of Dublin, California. I think he's 19 years old, maybe 20 now. Young man, was racing these cars before he turned 18. And does a great job behind the wheel. Finished 3rd in points, if I'm not mistaken, in the 2021. See if I can bring him up real quick. If you don't have My Race Pass, make sure you head on over and sign up for My Race Pass. Give you all the timing and scoring and stuff. It is a great app to have. Again, starting lineup, Charlie Correa on the point, Travis Day outside the front row. Row 2, Ellie Russo in the 31 Double D, and Chance Russell out of 12 in the 12 Double D. And in row number 3, Devin Cameron and Jack Haverty. Double up the field, getting ready to go green flag racing. Here tonight, Charlie Correa falling to the back of the pack. That's moving Ellie Russo up to the front row on the point, as Charlie has decided to fall to the back. So Ellie Russo has control of the field. Travis Day to her outside. Ellie has control of the field. She gets to set the pace until they come around to that go zone over there in turn number 4, where that orange pylon is, orange cone is. Ellie's got Devin Cameron right out of rear bumper. Bring it nice and slow to the go zone. Stay keeping it up high. Gets on the gas. Ellie Russo gets a great jump off turn number 4. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Devin Cameron looks low. Travis Day spins out right in front of Chance Russell. They touch. Their contact actually straightens out Travis Day, and they both keep on going. Chance Russell gets the position. Ellie Russo takes lap number 1 as the leader. Devin Cameron there in second. Now Travis Day way up over the cushion in turn number 1 and 2. Keeps it off the wall. Charlie Correa pulling off the racetrack. Ellie Russo put lap number 2 in the books. 6-lap heat races for the Delta Dwarf cars. I'm sorry, 8-lap heat races for the Delta Dwarf cars. As Ellie coming up off turn number 4, looking to put lap number 3, spread it out just a little bit. She has got well, Devin Cameron is not coming up on timing and scoring, so I can't give you a split. Halfway, though, 4 down, 4 to go for the 8-lap heat races. For heat race number 1, Ellie Russo has control of the field. She was in Mojave last weekend, competing in her first Pro Division national event and made the main event both nights. That was her goal. As Jack Haverty trying to do a slide job on Devin Cameron, does, but gets loose, and Cameron gets it back. Here comes Chance Russell down on the low side. Battle for third up off turn number 2 as Ellie Russo continues to check out, coming around to put lap number 6 in the books. 2 to go this time by for Ellie Russo and the rest of this field. Battle, though, is for second. Haverty got slow underneath Devin Cameron, up off turn number 4, down to turn number 1. Haverty's got him. Cameron crosses over. Haverty slides up the hill. He keeps it out of the fence. Cameron back up at the second, and once again, that puts Chance Russell on the inside of Haverty. Haverty slides up the hill. Ellie Russo sees the white flag. Devin Cameron getting a little bit closer to her. She's trying to hold him off. He gets a little bit loose in the center of 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. He dive bombs into turn number 3. His hood starts flying up. Ellie Russo coming up off turn number 4. Devin Cameron's going to drive around the outside. Cameron with the win. Ellie Russo second. Jack Haverty third. Chance Russell fourth. And Travis Day is going to round out the top 5. As Cameron dive bombed into turn number 3 on the high side. And as he did that, his hood started to pop up. It didn't bother him a bit. He drove hard through the center of the turn and was able to beat Ellie up off the turn and put Ellie back to second after leading 7 3/4 of a lap. Devin Cameron with the win in heat race number 1. Got a little bit of track maintenance going on over turn number 2 real quick. Great race between Devin Cameron and Ellie Russo. Here, some fun things might be going on here in a little bit, but we're getting ready for heat race number 2 for the Delta Dwarf cars. As we are working on getting something out of the ground over there in turn number 2. While I got a second, tell you about upcoming events here at Antioch Speedway. Next weekend, the Dwarf cars are back. The Delta Dwarf cars will be joined by the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks. The Super Stocks are going to make their 2022 season debut, as well as the Mini Stocks. That's all next Saturday night, March 26th. Again, the Delta Dwarf cars, the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, the Super Stocks, and the Mini Stocks. And April 2nd, the IMCA Modifieds and Sport Modifieds will be back. They'll be joined by the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks and the Hard Tops making their 2022 season debut. If you haven't seen the Hard Tops, you're not familiar with them. These are cool cars. These are from like the 40s. And just going out and having some fun with those cars. That is on April 2nd. April 9th on Saturday night, the IMCA Modifieds will be in the house. Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, IMCA Stock Cars, and the 600 Micro Sprints making their 2022 debut here at Antioch Speedway. That's coming up on April 9th. April 16th, Easter egg hunt. That is Easter weekend. The Dwarf cars will be back. Delta Dwarf cars with the wingless sprint cars making their season debut. Mini Stocks and the WMR midgets. We're going to be in the house yet again. The WMR midgets, a regional touring series. There, it's the series is here last year, late in the season for one event. That'll be on April 16th, Easter weekend. And folks, if you got kids, bring them on out. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt. April 23rd, to wrap up the month of April, the IMCA Northern Sport Modifieds will be in the house with the Delta Dwarf cars, the Hobby Stocks, and the wingless sprint cars. That's going to round out your month of April. Lineup for heat race number 2 for the Delta Dwarf cars looks like this. Out of Vacaville, California, the number 38. That's John Tardif, 38 Double D. Justin Bingman out of Hollister, California, in the 12 car. Starts outside row 2. Roberto Monroy, better known as Bob, out of Antioch in the 7XL. Starts inside row 2, row 3, or excuse me, 2 is outside. It is Joey Schreffler out of Livermore, California in the 47R. Dynamite Dave Rosa inside row number 3 out of Antioch in the 68. 2 is outside. It'll be Tyler Applebaum out of Antioch in the 33 car. Starting lineup for heat race number 2, 8 laps is the distance. Green flag in the air. John Tardif coming up off turn number 4. And Fabulous Bob grabs that red and yellow flag. We are going to restart this thing. Didn't quite get the proper start that we needed, so we're going to do it again. Line it back up and we'll go one more time. Front row is not side by side. Lights out. We're going to try it again. Again, John Tardif is our leader. He has control of the field down the back straightaway. Bingman in the 12th car, 2 is outside. Green flag in the air. Down the front straightaway, it is Bingman on the high side with a slight advantage over John Tardif. Coming up off turn number 2, Tardif gets a little bit loose, has to get out of the gas. Chase that thing up the hill just a little bit. That puts Bingham up on the point. He pushed to the center of turns 3 and 4. But he is our leader, 1 lap down. 7 to go. Got a battle for that second spot with Monroy getting around John Tardif for second. Put Tardif back in third. Fourth is going to be Dynamite Dave. Dave comes up right on the rear bumper of John Tardif. 2 laps down, 6 to go in this 8-lap heat race for the Delta Dwarf car. Heat race number 2. 3 heat races here tonight for the Dwarf cars. Justin Bingham. That car handling well right now, stretching out his lead ever so slightly. Now 3 laps in the books. Bob in that 7 car, getting a little bit loose through the center of the turn that time. That brought Dynamite Dave right up on his rear bumper. Coming across the line, 4 down, 4 to go. We're halfway done with heat race number 2. Battles for second. Dynamite Dave goes to the high side, puts Monroy down on the low side, but Dynamite Dave pushed really hard, and finally that thing snapped around. He had to get out of the gas. Keeps on going. He's back a couple car lengths. He gets through the center of the turn like crazy, whereas Monroy did not. And that puts Dynamite Dave to his outside as Justin Bingham still on the point, not getting any farther away. Now Dynamite Dave works his way around the 7 car. Monroy setting his sights on the leader. That 68 car is fast here tonight right now. Battle for lead goes into turn number 1. We're coming around. We got a lap and a half to go as Tyler Applebaum pulled into the infield last lap. On the back straightaway, Dynamite Dave goes to the high side, trying to cut low, coming up off turn number 4. White flag in the air. One more time around. There is a 2.5 car length lead between Justin Bingham and Dynamite Dave. But Dave drives into turn number 1 a lot harder. But Bingham gets up off turn number 2 better. It stretches it back out. Coming around lap number 8. Into the books. It's going to be Justin Bingham in that 12 car, followed by Dynamite Dave Rosa. Bob, Roberto Monroy, John Tardif, and the 47 R of Joey Schreffler. Rounding out your field because Tyler Applebaum finished in the infield after losing the fire on that motor. Got one more Dwarf car race coming up with Captain Chaos Danny Wagner on the point. Starting lineup, Danny Wagner out of Bay Point, California, an 11 Double D starting on the point. 2 is outside. It's going to be David Michael Rosa in the 2 Double D out of Antioch, California. In the 3rd spot, Sean Catani out of Brentwood, California, in a 43 Double D, making his return after missing the last party last year after flipping over in Petaluma. Mario Marquez in the 47 car starting outside row number 2 out of Tracy, California. And Pete Piantanata, if I'm not saying that properly, Pete, I apologize, out of Discovery Bay in the 96 car at the back of the pack in that red car. Lights out. We are coming to the green flag. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner with control of the field. Gets hard on the gas. That car takes off down the front straightaway. Wagner getting through turns 1 and 2. Slides up the hill in front of in front of David Michael Rosa. Rosa has a little trouble in the center of turn number 2. Looks like something might be wrong with that race car. He pulls down to the low side of the racetrack, and that thing is just not handling well. 1 lap into books. He falls to the back of the pack. Does David Michael Rosa. Getting passed by Piantanata in that 96 car. Putting lap number 2 in the books. It is Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, 11 double T. Sean Catucci is currently second. Mario Marquez third. David Michael Rosa back up to the 4th spot. And then the 96 of Piantanata in that 5th spot. 3 laps down. As Captain Chaos working right up along the what little bit of cushion we have up there. 4 down. Coming across the line to complete lap number 5. 3 to go. Captain Chaos on the point. Sean Catucci second. Mario Marquez third. David Michael Rosa fourth. And Pete in that 96 car. Piantanata in the 5th spot. Again, I apologize if I'm not saying his name correctly. 2 to go. Fabulous Bomb holding that green flag straight up in the air like that. That's an indication of 2 to go. Wagner down into turn number 3. Came short of the championship last year. He's trying to win that championship here this year. 1 car goes around the 96 in turn number 1, and yellow flag comes out. White flag was seen, but yellow flag comes out. Get him lined back up. Captain Chaos going to have to hold off Sean Catucci. They do Texas-style restarts in the Delta Dwarf car ranks. That means the leader gets the front row to himself. Second place gets to choose the high side or low side in row number 2. And then everyone else falls in line accordingly. Getting them doubled up. It's like Sean Catucci, I think he's going to choose the low side. Nope, he's decided he's going to take the high side. Catucci, I guess he's going to go low side, put Mario Marquez on the high side. Coming around, the green and white coming out together. Going to give him the 1 to go signal this time. A 1 lap shootout. Lights are out. Danny Wagner has control of the field. See, as we were talking, Mike and I were talking last week, if you were tuned in or you were here, there is a gamesmanship to the restarts. And see what Danny's going to do here tonight. Danny gets on the gas a little early, and off he goes. Check it out. Sean Catucci in the 2nd spot. Mario Marquez sliding up a little too far, and he's going to lose 2 spots. Drop from 3rd to 5th on this final lap as they come back around. Danny Wagner is going to cross the line as our winner for heat race number 3. Hand out the window. Sean Catucci in the 2nd spot. David Michael Rosa gets back up to 3rd. Then we've got the Pete Piantanata out of Discovery Bay, 4th, and Mario Marquez dropped from 3rd to 5th on that one-lap shootout. IMCA Stock Cars rolling off next. And that's going to do it for our hot laps for Delta Dwarf Cars. They'll be back out for our main event coming up in a little bit. Heat race number 1 for the IMCA Stock Cars. I'll tell you what, folks, if you've not seen these yet, these things put on some great shows. 8-lap heat races. Jeff Betancourt moving up from the Hobby Stocks last year, scheduled to start on the point out of Brentwood, California in the 9S. And just hearing over the radio, Jeff did not make the call for the race. That'll move Travis Dutra up to the front row. Dave Hill starts outside the front row in that 15A out of South San Francisco. Kellen Chadwick will start at the back of the pack in the 87 car. Kellen had a great run last week. He was leading and had a good run, and got into lap traffic. And just as I talked to him on a pre-race show, if you haven't seen that, go back on Antioch Speedway Buy Promotions Facebook and check it out. But he talked about how he just kind of didn't handle that right. He lost it, driver error in the lap traffic, costing him the win. But up until that point, that car was looking, I think that was the best run that 87 car has had since it's been out here. Going to double him up next time by. Still a little packing on the high side. A beautiful night for racing here at Antioch Speedway. Didn't think it was going to happen yesterday looking at the weather forecast. Lights out, going green flag racing next time by. 3 cars after Jeff Betancourt is a scratch for the night. He was out here for hot laps. Not sure what happened. See if we can find out. And we'll try to let you know. Travis Dutra has control of the field. Our 2021 champion and Rookie of the Year. Dutra in that 22 car. Starting to pick up the speed a little bit. Hard on the gas coming up off turn number 4. Kind of surprised they don't start it up a little higher. Or he doesn't try to move up a little higher. To get a little bit more radius on the turn, as Dave Hill is going to drive around the outside off turn number 2 and put him, the 15A, on the point. Hill out of South San Francisco. Dutra falls in line behind him. Kellen Chadwick back there in the 3rd spot. Running nose to tail, basically. Kellen running just a little bit lower than the other 2 cars in this heat race in turns 1 and 2. Now, turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4 drive differently. They are 2 separate animals, so to speak. Different radiuses. There's a little tighter in turns 3 and 4. And they just handle different. So you actually have to set your car up for both of them. As Dave Hill comes up off turn number 4. Putting lap number 3 in the books, 5 to go. Battle for the lead down at turn number 1. Travis Dutra looks underneath Dave Hill. Side by side out of back straightaway to turn number 3. Dutra drives in just a little bit deeper, and that's going to cost him a little bit. He washed up in the center of the turn, put Dave Hill back on the point. But the battle's not over, as Dutra's right down on the bottom, right where the tires are. He slips up on the exit of turn number 2. Kellen had to get out of the gas. He had a good run on that high side. Had to get on the brakes a little bit. Now he gets to the outside of Dutra. They both push up the hill, coming up through turns number 4. Dave Hill said, "Thanks you very much." That is 2 to go. As we are 6 laps into an 8-lap heat race for the IMCA Stock Cars. Dave Hill now checked out by about 2 car lengths. But Dutra driving in much deeper than Dave Hill is, and doesn't cost him as much this time. White flag is out. One more time around. Battle for the lead into turn number 1. Dutra tries a crossover, getting underneath him. Just got his very tip of the bumper underneath him going into turn number 3. Kellen Chadwick's back there. Dutra again in the center of 3 and 4, pushes up the hill, and that's going to put Dave Hill into the victory lane for heat race number 1 for the IMCA Stock Cars. Dutra will get second, and Kellen Chadwick will round out to top 3. IMCA stock car racing action. Heat race number 1 taken home by Dave Hill. Heat race number 2 getting ready to roll off. With Jason Robles out of Rio Vista, California, in the 78 car starting on the point. Joe Gallagher starting second. He's out of San Jose, California. His son, Rob Gallagher, the driver of the X car, not able to make it tonight. Had some parenting duties to take care of at the school, so he's not able to make it. He did say hi, wishes he was here earlier. I saw on Facebook. Anthony Giuliani out of Morgan Hill, California, in that 15G. Anthony switching from sport modifieds to the IMCA stock cars. And when he's not up in his new house, up in like Montana or something like that. Fast Freddie Ryland, our winner last week, out of Brentwood in the 7J, starting 4th at the back of the pack. Always tough to beat no matter where he's at. Green flag in the air. Down to turn number 1, Joe Gallagher. What a run he gets down the front straightaway in turn number 1. He drives around Jason Robles, as does Fast Freddie Ryland. Put Gallagher on the point, Ryland second. Robles back to third, and Giuliani in the 4th spot. Side-by-side battle for the lead down the front straightaway into turn number 1. We got Ryland down on the low side. Joe Gallagher gets sideways. Heavy loose, gets into the right rear of Fast Freddie Ryland. Ryland keeps it on going. Kind of straightened out Gallagher a little bit. They all keep going. Now Jason Robles went from 4th up to 2nd and got the rear bumper cover for Fast Freddie Ryland hanging off after that contact with Joe Gallagher in turn number 1 last time by. Fast Freddie Ryland working right up along the cushion, as is Jason Robles. Ryland coming up off turn number 4, puts another lap in the books. 3 down, 5 to go. This 8-lap heat race for the IMCA stock cars. Jason Robles in the 2nd spot, Joe Gallagher 3rd, but that battle is heating up as Anthony Giuliani's trying to get up to Joe Gallagher, looking at the inside. We're halfway done, 4 down, 4 to go. Battle for 3rd continues. Giuliani down on the low side. Their side, they touch. Wheel to wheel, coming up off turn number 4, and around goes Anthony Giuliani after those 2 cars touch. Coming up through off turn number 2. Giuliani coming to a stop at turn number 3. Yellow flag coming out. That was a right front wheel to a left rear wheel, and around went Giuliani. See if we got that on the replay. Cars down into turn number 1. Coming up off turn number 2. Taking a look at the replay. Oh, camera just changed angle. I think we're going to miss it. Yeah, I'm not sure if Joe got loose coming up off turn number 2. And came down the hill or what? All right. Five down, 3 to go. Joe Gallagher is going to be charged with that yellow flag. 1 and done in the heat races. Fast Freddie Ryland with that rear bumper cover still hanging off after contact on turn number 1. Earlier in the event as Gallagher got loose at that point. Kind of saved when that left front of Gallagher got into the right rear of Fred Ryland. That kind of saved him, straightened him out a little bit. Now working on getting Gallagher. He'll be back out in the main event. Thanks to everybody that's here in the stand. Love seeing this great crowd here. Great having you all here, and great having everybody on Antioch Speedway TV that's watching on there. As we are in week 2 for the 2022 season here at Antioch Speedway. Up next, we got the IMCA Sport Modifieds lining up. Heat races will be coming up after the stock cars. Pulling over to have a little chat with the official down there. And there he goes, being told that he was getting the credit for that spin on the back straightaway. Magic green flag in the air. Going to go green flag racing next time by. Fast Freddie Ryland has control of the field. Anthony Giuliani on the low side, but Jason Robles technically the second place car. Green flag in the air. That's 7J setting a pretty line coming up off turn number 4 down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Fast Freddie Ryland on the point. Jason Robles second in that 78 car. And Anthony Giuliani getting a little bit loose coming up off turn number 2. That car didn't look like it's handling quite as well as before that contact. Maybe bent something in the right front when they made that the contact with the 1 car. And in fact, it looks like it might even be 2 to go. Lap and a half now as Fast Freddie comes off the turn 2 down the back straightaway. Jason Robles not letting them get away. White flag is out. One more time around. Fast Freddie Ryland in the 7J. Going to have to hurry up and get out of that race car into his Sport Modified as those races are coming up next. Ryland through turns 3 and 4 sees a checkered flag. Fast Freddie Ryland with the win. Jason Robles loses a couple car lengths here on the final 2 turns. In the second spot, Anthony Giuliani finishes in third. It's going to do it for our IMCA stock car heat races. So Fast Freddie Ryland with the win. Jason Robles second. And Anthony Giuliani in the third spot. Heat races for the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds. 2 heat races for you tonight. Heat race number 1 looks like this. Matt Pitts out of Rodeo, California in the 16 car. Scheduled to start on the point outside the front row. Casey Keller out of Tracy, California in the 38 car. The 3 car of Chuck Golden out of Pittsburgh, California, scheduled to start third, with Jacob Malva Jr. scheduled to start fourth. He's out of Oakley, California in the 127. Tyler Brown, he's scheduled to start in the 5th spot. He's driving the 325 out of Oakley, California. And Kid Smooth, Andrew Pierce out of Oakley, California in the 15P starts 6th. 7th is going to be Cale Kankey out of Fraser Park, California in the 33 car. Chuck Golden drops to the back of the pack. That moves Tyler Brown up to the inside of row number 2. Lights out, going green flag racing. This next time by as Matt Pitts has control of the field down to turn number 3. Picking up the speed a little bit in the middle, 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. We are IMCA Sport Modified Heat Racing. Casey Keller on the high side. Looks like he gets a good run through the center of 1 and 2. Puts him on the point. Put Matt Pitts back to second. Here comes Tyler Brown in that 325 as Jacob Malva Jr. now dives to the inside of Brown. 1 lap in the books. 7 laps to remain in this 8-lap heat race for the IMCA Sport Modifieds. Andrew Pierce, young gun, trying to work his way up. He's on the inside of Jacob Malva Jr. And Pitts, Tyler Brown get together. They collect the 15P of Anthony Pierce. Sounds like the right front's going to be broken on the 15P. Something, the tow truck's being called for that. Andrew Pierce. See if we can see what happened on the video. 325 with a broken left front on the Tyler Brown car. You see it's not tracking straight. He's heading to the pits. Kate Smoot unbuckling from his race car. Watch it on the video, down to turn number 3. Matt Pitts gets up over the cushion just a little bit. Gets loose coming up off turn number 4, comes down the hill into Tyler Brown, who is forced down into Andrew Pierce, who was trying to get around the Brown car. All started with the 16. Matt Pitts just got up a little too high, got loose as he got back on the gas coming up off turn number 4, shot him down the hill into Tyler Brown, who got into Andrew Pierce. Of course, you can watch this stuff if you are subscribed to Antioch Speedway TV. As we get that scene cleaned up down there, got Andrew Pierce's car up on the hook, pulling him to the infield. Right front damage, as you can see it on there. Casey Keller is our leader. Jacob Mallow Jr. second. Third is the car of Cale Kahnke out of Fraser Park, California. And at the back of the pack right now, it's Chuck Golden in that 3 car. Got to get used to him in the 3 car. Andrew Pierce looking at the front of that car. Lights out, going green flag racing next time by. Casey Keller has control of the field. Jacob Mallow Jr. chooses the high side, puts the Kahnke car down on the low side. Green flag in the air. Casey Keller. That car working really well on that line he's choosing. Right up against where the cushion would be. Not really a cushion there. Kind of a line you can see. It's like lap number 2 in the books, I think 2 of 6. Keller down into turn number 3. Jacob Mallow Jr. right on his rear bumper. Mallow Jr. in that 127 car, less than a car length behind. Look to the inside going down into turn number 1. Tries to carry the momentum off the turn, but that high side pays off for Casey Keller. Mallet enters the turn right on Casey Keller's rear deck lid. Tries to gut low in the center of the turn, nothing doing. Halfway down, 4 to go. I'm sorry, 5 down. 3 to go. Mallet underneath. Coming around to the 2 turn. He gets a little loose that time in the center of 3 and 4. He's going to lose a car length. He had his nose underneath Casey Keller in 3 and 4. Nothing doing. White flag out this time by. Keller gets just a hair loose on the exit of turn 4. Take him out, run on his rear bumper. Looks low going into turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Coming up on turn number 2. That high side pays off once again for the 38. Down Mallett, down to the inside. The 127, side by side off turn number 4, but give it to Casey Keller. With the win, Jacob Mallett Jr. in the second spot. Kyle Cranky in the third spot. And fourth is going to be Chuck Golden. If you follow Chuck on Facebook, he had an interesting offseason. Went out to Indianapolis, him and his son. They went to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They got a new trailer. They got a new car. They had trailer issues on the way back. The side started blowing off. They had things breaking. They had quite the adventure, did Golden. I'll have to get him on Wiley's Race Report. Andrew Pierce. Kate Smooth getting towed back into the pits now. Get busy on that car so he can come back out for the main events. Heat race number 2 looks like this. Nicholas Zapatero out of Antioch, California into 1 car. Starting on the point, 2 is outside. Jason Ryan Jr. out of Oakley in the 52 car. Row 2, Jake Betancourt out of Brentwood in the 29B. And Mark Garner out of Antioch in the 76A, row 2. Row 3 is going to be Tommy Klymans on the inside out of Oakley in that 71A. And 2 is outside. Last week's winner, Fast Freddie Ryland out of Brentwood in the 7J. Also, our 2021 champion is Ryland. Lights out, coming around to the green flag. Green flag in here. Jason Ryan Jr. gets down to turn number 1 first. Gets down low right to try to block Nicholas Zapatero. Mark Garner's right there. He wants in on this action. Brand new race car, semi-used body. He used it in Vegas in November for Duel in the Desert, but a brand new race car for Garner. Last week was the first time that thing saw dirt. As our leader gets a little bit loose, had a little push in the center of the turn, and then suddenly that thing snapped loose. And that opens up the door. Mark Garner down on the inside now. Down into 3 and 4. Garner can't get through the center of the turn. It's Jason Ryan Jr. 2 down. 6 to go. Ryan has a little trouble coming up off the turn. He kind of stalled it. Garner bounces off the wall going into turn down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He crosses over, gets underneath Jason Ryan Jr. side by side at the line. It was Mark Garner at the line by just a slight edge. 1 car, Jason Ryan Jr. spins in turn number 1. Garner's going to face some heat here shortly as he puts lap number 4 in the books. 4 down, 4 to go. Here comes Fast Freddie Ryland. Garner pushed up the hill in the center of 1 and 2 and opens up the door. You open up the door for Fast Freddie. He's going to step in, I guarantee you, each and every time. Fast Freddie on the point now. Garner back to second. Crossing the line. I do believe 5 down, 3 to go in this 8-lap heat race for the IMCA Sport Modifieds. Ryland spread it out just a little bit. Got about 2.5 car lengths over Mark Garner. Garner's got Tommy Klymans coming up from behind. 2 to go. So it's Fast Freddie Ryland, Mark Garner, Tommy Klymans, Nicholas Zapatero, and it is the Jake Betancourt car, followed by Jason Ryan Jr. White flag in the air one more time around for Fast Freddie, trying to win another doubleheader here tonight like he did last week, winning both the main events for the stock cars and the Sport Modifieds. Doing double duty again here tonight. Freddie, and up off turn number 4, sees a checkered flag, put Fast Freddie Ryland in victory lane one more time. Mark Garner is going to get second. Tommy Klymans third. Nicholas Zapatero fourth. Jake Betancourt is going to get 5th, and 6th will be Jason Ryan Jr., our early leader in that 52 car. It's going to do it for our heat races for the IMCA Sport Modifieds. 2 more heat races for your racing enjoyment. The IMCA Modifieds are up next. 2 heat races for you. Heat race number 1 for the IMCA Modifieds look like this. Trevor Klymans out of Brentwood, California, scheduled to start on the point in the 2C. Bobby Motts Jr. out of San Pablo, scheduled to start second. Third is going to be Kellen Chadwick out of Oakley, California in the 83 car, and Buddy Niss will start fourth, also out of Oakley in the 28K. Paul Guglielmone out of Vacville, scheduled to start in the 5th spot. Once again, Trevor Klymans, like he did last week, falls to the back of the pack. So put Kellen Chadwick up on the point in that 83 car. Bobby Motts Jr., two past champions up on the front row. Green flag in the air. Kellen Chadwick down the front straightaway into turn number 1, out in front of Bobby Motts. Motts tries to cross over. Coming up off turn number 2, gets a good run. Gets down to turn number 3, but Kellen Chadwick still has a slight advantage. As the Guglielmone car gets a little bit squirrely coming through turns 3 and 4. Kellen Chadwick on the point, working his way through turns 3 and 4. Going to come around, put lap number 2 in the books. Chadwick leading. Chadwick up off turn number 4, down the front straightaway. It is Kellen Chadwick into turn number 1. Working the high line. He's got Bobby Motts Jr. in the second spot. Battle for third, or second is heating up. As Bobby Motts is getting Buddy Niss. Well, he was. Buddy Niss fell back in turns 1 and 2 that time. Buddy Niss, that 28K, our 2019 champion, as our leader, Kellen Chadwick, checking out. Bobby Motts Jr. second. Kellen Chadwick still on the point. Third is going to be Buddy Niss. Fourth is going to be Guglielmone, and Trevor Kleiman's in the fifth and final spot. Coming around 2 to go this next time by. Chadwick sees the raised green flag. He's got a full straightaway lead over Bobby Motts Jr. He's got about a half a straightaway over Buddy Niss. Last week, Buddy didn't run. His dad ran the Sport Modified. They're swapping out this week. White flag in the air. Kellen Chadwick one more time around for heat race number 1 for the IMCA Modifieds. It is Chadwick, Motts, Niss, Guglielmone, and Kleiman. Your running order. Checkered flag in the air. Kellen Chadwick taking home the win. Bobby Motts going to take home second. Third is going to be Buddy Niss. Fourth is going to be Paul Guglielmone. And fifth will be Trevor Kleiman. Going to do it for heat race number 1 for the IMCA Modifieds. Kellen Chadwick with the win. Guglielmone pulls to the infield. Heat race number 2 rolling out. Terry DiCarlo Jr. out of Martinez, California, in the 17 JR scheduled to start on the point. To his outside, it is the 2021 champion out of Prudendale, California, and West Coast Stock Car Hall of Famer, Jim Pettit, in the 6 car. Row number 2, it is Quick Nick DiCarlo, winner last week, his first win in 2 years here at Antioch Speedway, out of Martinez in the 17 car with Clark Guglielmone out of Vacaville outside row number 2. At the back of the pack, it is Jeff Brown in the 228 out of Oakley, California, coming around. Green flag in the air. Terry DiCarlo Jr. getting pressure from behind by brother Nick. And he's got Jim Pettit to his outside. Coming up off turn number 2, give it to Pettit. Is our leader in that 6 car. But the DiCarlo boys battling side by side, coming up off turn number 4. Lap number 1 in the books. Nick DiCarlo on the inside of Terry DiCarlo Jr. Dad Terry DiCarlo not here tonight with his car. Junior goes around in turn number 4. Lap number 2 in the books. He's going to fall to the back of the pack, come to a stop, and the yellow flag comes out. That's going to be done. He is done for the night, or for this heat race. As it is one and done if you bring out the yellow flag. Terry DiCarlo Jr. just kind of spinning all on his own there in turn number 4. Just watch it in the replay. Coming up off turn number 2, brothers side by side. It's into turn number 4. So Nick's getting the got the black flag on that one for getting into looking at the replay. He got in the back of his brother. Looks like Guglielmone is going to take the low side, put the 228 of Jeff Brown to the high side. Terry DiCarlo Jr. at the back of the pack. But Jim Pettit on the point in the 16 car. You ever get a chance to meet Jim Pettit, take it and listen to his story. He's got some great stories in many years racing, pavement, dirt, NASCAR, all kinds of stuff, and Hall of Fame career. Green flag back in the air. Pettit down the front straightaway into turn number 1 with the lead. Jeff Brown slides up the hill in turn 2. Gets loose as Pettit gets loose. Coming up off turn number 4, but Guglielmone was not close enough to make a move there. As Clark all over the rear bumper. Now Terry DiCarlo Jr. having trouble. That car pushing like a dump truck in turn number 2. Jim Pettit, that car not handling as he was to his liking in the center of turn number 4. So Jim Pettit, Clark Guglielmone, Jeff Brown, and Terry DiCarlo Jr. That 17 JR just not handling well now at all as Pettit puts another lap in the books. Coming around, should be 2 to go next time by if I'm not mistaken. Pettit down into turn number 3. Clark Guglielmone about a car length and a half back. Pettit getting the extended arm with the green flag from Fabulous Bob saying 2 to go. Pettit down to turn number 3. Again, won our track championship and also won Merced and Watsonville championships last year. 3 track championships in 1 year for the Hall of Fame. Pettit coming up off turn number 2, down the back straightaway into turn 3. Jim Pettit, Clark Guglielmone, Jeff Brown, and Terry DiCarlo Jr. And that's the way they're going to finish as Jim Pettit takes home the win. Clark Guglielmone in the second spot. Jeff Brown third, and Terry DiCarlo Jr. rounding out the field. That's going to do it for our heat races. It is a great time to head on down, get yourself some hot chocolate if you want it, coffee, tea, beer, Bud Light, Modelo, Corona, hot dog, hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, chicken strips, french fries, nachos, whatever you want. Lots of great food down there. Head on down, get that. We're going to take an intermission. When we come back, it will be main event time. You don't want to miss a lot of great racing action yet to come with the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and the Delta Dwarf Cars all coming up. In the meantime, during intermission, going to play back last night's episode. Was released last night. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It is Wiley's Race Report.
Race fans, this is Wiley's Race Report for Saturday, March 12th, 2022. It was the first race weekend of the 2022 season, opening day, and we had some awesome racing taking place with the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks. Coming up this Saturday night, the 19th of March, before we get into the results for last week, we got the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars all back, and they're going to be joined by the Delta Dwarf cars. You don't want to miss it. Gates open at 4 o'clock. Racing action begins at 6 o'clock. Actually, there's going to be a special happy hour on the south end of things between 3 and 5. $5 beers whenever the track work's going on, and happy hour 3 to 5. Come on out and enjoy a beautiful Saturday at Antioch Speedway. So, back to last Saturday night, the 12th of March. Hobby Stocks, the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, were the first division to hit the racetrack for the main event. And our top 5 look like this. Jewel Crandall had her first top 5 finish of the year. Jared Baugh was second. Bobby Gallagher had a strong third-place finish. Les Friend had a great battle with our eventual winner, first-time winner, and very popular winner, Misty Wellborn, driver of the number 75.
This year. I thought you were going to do it last fall. You did it. Night number 1, 2022. Congratulations. And you went out there. Come on around here real quick. You went out. You had to work around Les Friend. And that first restart, the first restart when you started outside that front row, he got you. And you learned, and the next one, you didn't let him get away.
No, I didn't. I had to give it everything I had. I didn't trust the car. My husband does an amazing job of putting this car together. And it's up to me. And Dutra, he's taught me everything I know about driving. And this was amazing. I am not the first loser! Woo!
So your last restart, you had 4 to go. What were your thoughts at that point?
Just hold it together. Hold it together. And I was just practicing on relaxing, hitting my lines, and a lot of footwork. It was very slippery out there today. But my car liked it, so I just adjusted. I avoided some stuff, and wow. Holy cow, I can't believe I'm standing here!
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, I guarantee not the last time, the winner of tonight, Pacific Coast Hobby Stock Man, Misty Wellborn!
I'm so happy!
After the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks were on the racetrack, the IMCA Modifieds came out, and Jim Pettit II finished in the 5th position. Kellen Chadwick was just in front of him out of Oakley, California. Tricky Troy Folger finished 3rd. Bobby Hogue, the 4th, finished in the 2nd spot. But our winner, first time in 2 years, driver of the number 17 out of Martinez, California, it was Quick Nick DiCarlo.
Well, you started up front, then you fell back. Kellen checked out. You're shaking.
I haven't won in 2 years. This is amazing.
Not a bad way to start the 2022.
Yeah, I was kind of having my doubts about it, but I think this will keep us moving.
So you got up there, you were able to catch up with Kellen when he got behind that slower traffic, and you guys had to work your way through there, and it seemed to work out for your favor.
Yeah, I just got up on the wheel, and I was getting pushed around by Hogue and by everybody, and it was good. I'm happy to be here.
What's it like racing against your brothers?
I was in this dirt going into that turn we were like 4 wide down the straightaway. Good job, dude. That was fun.
Bobby Hogue coming over congratulating Nick. So Nick, running against your brothers, your dad out there, and what's it like when you're doing that?
My dad and my brothers have been doing this forever. It's awesome to be out here with them and doing it all together.
All right, who do you want to say thanks for helping you get the victory lane on night 1 of
2022?
My buddy Andrew, CPT, RJ, like I said, I haven't been here in 2 years in the victory lane, so everybody knows who they are, and I thank all of them. And I want to dedicate this win to the Favalora family for what's going on with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our feature winner for the IMCA Modifieds, Quick Nick Nicole!
In our IMCA Sport Modified division, we had Tyler Brown finish in the 5th spot and had 325, a very nice looking wrap on that race car this year. Tommy Clymans, he's in a different color and different number this year. He's in the 71A. Michaela Taylor will take over that car after the points season ends. Chester Niss out of Antioch, California, stepping into a Sport Modified instead of the Modified ranks, finished in 3rd position. Kid Smooth, Andrew Pierce out of Oakley, California, finished 2nd. But our winner out of Brentwood, California, last year's champion in this division, the 2021 champion, Fast Freddie Ryland.
Not a bad way to kick off your events of your championship, taking on the winner.
Yeah, it was good. Got a little rough out there. They might have got the back of it. ACL a little bit. He was checking up for someone else. And on the back stretch, I'm not sure what happened there. First two down, hit me, and they got racing for it. It is what it is. It's do all the laps.
Yeah, you were down on the left side of Kelly Campanelli and had a car, another car, trying to squeeze in between you because she had slipped up a little bit and they made contact.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to run close, but I think she touched him and he touched me.
So who do you want to say thanks for getting out here today?
My wife right there. Appreciate Chevrolet, TFC Brakes, Brian Racing, Brian Zachary, Clayton, Knight helping me out.
All right, good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
And real quick, I know he's got to go hop in the stock car as well, but Andrew Pierce, Kid Smooth, worked your way up there, and you had a good battle, and on one of the restarts, you got a really good run up off turn number 4 and had a shot on the inside, but couldn't quite get around Fast Freddie.
You know, I just thought it gave them all I had right there. I still had a few tricks up my sleeve, so too bad they threw that yellow because I was going to try to make that interesting. But overall, it was a good race, and we'll be back next time. Try to be one spot ahead.
All right, I'm going to let you go because you got to go strap in another race car.
Yep, 25 more laps.
Good luck tonight. Andrew Pierce getting ready to run in the IMCA stock car main event. Chester Niss, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Chester Niss is an awesome trophy girl.
Thanks.
Great job. He helped me out hand out trophies at the awards banquet last week. Thank you very much, Chester, for that. What do you think of this IMCA Sport Modified setup?
It's different.
Yeah?
They're easier to drive.
Easier to drive and you had fun.
Yeah, definitely fun.
It was kind of fun watching you at one point. You were running with Mark Garner back there. It looked like you guys were having fun, but you worked your way up. You were mid-pack at that point, worked your way up in top 5.
Yeah, my son told me to go to the outside and went up there and went for it.
Just watch it.
So how often are you going to run this thing out here?
You did good, bro. You look good.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys doing it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chester Niss. All right, so different number for you, but good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank all my sponsors, my family, my friends that helped us all out. Dedicating 71A this year to my dad. This is his old throwback number and font. Just out here having fun and enjoying it. At least you had good luck with 171A. Kayla, not so much. She had no power steering for me in the back. So.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, she busted the box. We put a box, but didn't have the fittings for it, so she manhandled it like a beast.
All right, so you're running this car this year, and the plan is next year to be good.
Actually, at the end of the season, still be in good deal.
All right, well, thank you very much. What do you want to say? Thanks for getting down here.
All my fans, all my family, my sponsors, a lot of work into these cars in the off-season. It's paid off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get up for Tommy Clymans. All right, Tyler Brown, come over here. Is this a chance to talk to him? Hey, we've been talking about your race car. This thing looks sharp.
Yeah, it's expensive, I'll tell you that. But the colors, Josh Combs, Jessica, you guys killed it. I like bright colors, so I went with that. And I let them design it.
So, one
1-2 wraps.
Yes, 1-2 wraps.
They do a great job. I know they do a lot of cars, so if folks are looking to get wrapped, that's a great place to Josh Combs and crew. But good run for you.
Yeah, it was tricky. A little dry in 1 and 2. You got to be easy. And then 3 and 4, it was hooked up. We had to hit that right line, or else you get tossed around like a wreck. But other than that, it was fun. We fell back a little bit, made my way back up. So had a good night.
Yeah, you went back, you came back forward. Good job on that. So what's your plans for the year? You going for the championship?
No. Work. Work's going to take that away. But try to get as much as I can. Travel as much as me and my brother can do. And see what happens.
All right, well, good job tonight. Congratulations. Who do you want to say thanks for helping to get out here?
Big thank you to Henry. He helped out big time sponsoring the car. My brother, countless hours trying to put this car together. Severed Metal, Jesse over at the Tint Shop, Zaid at Small Guys. So, looking forward to a good year, better than before. Keep the car in one piece.
All right, good job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, turn the crowd. In the IMCA stock car ranks, we had a number of drivers doing double duty on this night, including Kellen Chadwick, Tricky Troy Folger, and Fred Ryland were all doing double duties. But Travis Ducher finished in the 5th spot. He's out of Martinez, California. Anthony Giuliani out of Morgan Hill stepping into an IMCA stock car. Had a strong run in the 4th spot. Kellen Chadwick driving to number 87 finished in the 3rd spot, with Tricky Troy Folger finishing 2nd behind a very fast and dominant Fast Freddie Ryland, taking his 2nd win on the night. Here's what Freddie had to say in Victory Lane. Fast Freddie! Not a bad way to start the 2022 year, taking home 2 wins.
Not a bad way at all. Yeah, it's good. Nice to be able to start out front. The high line was probably the best line, and this car was working really well tonight. We've been struggling with it a little bit, but I think we got it where it needs to be. Boy, it's hard to pass that traffic, man. I'm telling you. It was tough. I'm glad there was a little caution there.
Well, that caution, you lost your lead of 3/4 of a lap.
Oh, yeah. I thought when I caught them cars and it slowed me down that somebody's got to be coming pretty soon.
They were literally 3/4 of a lap behind. They were having a great battle. There was at one point 5 cars battling for second while you were just on your own cruise line up there.
Yeah, it was a good car tonight, that's for sure. And again, I'd like to thank my wife and Tyler here. PFC brakes, mid-state machine, builds a great motor in this car. Brian again, my big crew and Clayton. That's about it.
Are you going to try to hit all these stock car races here, or just when you can?
Not sure yet. Still kind of playing it by ear, but yeah, it's the plan to try to make all of them if I can.
Fast Freddie Ryland, congratulations on win number 2 on the night.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fast Freddie Ryland. Mike, who you got here?
Well, I finally got a driver to stop for me. I guess they didn't realize that I'm no longer security here and they actually want to talk. But I have Jason Jennings here, and he was the 2nd place car for 90% of the race. And yeah, Jason, you held your line. It was beautiful. Best I've seen you race.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the race?
It was a pretty technical track. It was a lot of fun. I just got up out of the groove there in 1 and 2. I had all the hot dogs behind me, and they were putting pressure on. I felt them back there. I knew they were there. But it was a blast. Me, my dad, my brother, my buddy. I got a couple buddies out there helping out. They threw the kitchen sink at this thing, and it worked on this track. I need a little more seat time on this dry slick stuff. And I love the dry slick more than tacky. Anybody could drive a hammer down tacky track. And this is where it's at. The track prep was awesome. I had a blast. A lot of fun.
Well, yeah, it was a beautiful night for you. Anyone that you want to thank?
My dad, my mom, my wife, the kids, all the friends and family we got, all the sponsors that helped us out on this thing. If it wasn't for all them and pushing me to drive, I wouldn't be doing this stuff, So it's all them who really stand behind me that I want to thank.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Again,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, brother.
And good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Jason Jennings, everyone.
A great night of racing to kick off the 2022 season at Antioch Speedway. Quick Nick DiCarlo taking home the win in the IMCA Modified ranks. Fast Freddie Ryland doubling it up in both the IMCA Sport Modifieds and the IMCA Stock Cars. And Misty Wellborn in the 75, taking home a very popular first career main event win for Misty Wellborn. And I guarantee it's not her last win. She has been running very strong in a very good car. Congratulations, Misty, Freddie, and Nick on your wins on Saturday night. So again, just a reminder, coming up this Saturday night, the 19th of March, we have the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and our very own Delta Dwarf Cars hitting the racetrack on Saturday night. You don't want to miss it again. Gates open at 4 o'clock for normal stuff. Happy hour kicks off at 3 o'clock. 3 to 5 happy hour. Anytime there are track prep going on, we will have $5 beer. And you don't want to miss it. Coming up Saturday night at Antioch Speedway. Until then, thanks for tuning in to Wiley's Race Report. I'm Wiley Wade. Goodbye, everybody. Fourth was Tommy Climans. Yep. Try this again, shall we? 3, 2. Nick Kaufman. Wasn't Nick Kaufman. He wasn't even there. Fast Freddie Ryland winning both the IMCA Sports Cars. Wow, I didn't know we had IMCA Sports Cars now. That's cool. 2022 season with Nick. I know him. DiCarlo. I can't remember. Fast Freddie Ryland winning the. I don't know what I'm saying. Please help me. I need help. We got the IMCA Modifieds back, the IMCA Sports Car. We have sports cars, I guess. I got all the way to the end, and now this last take I can't do. What the bloody hell? 3, 2. Other exciting racing here at Antioch Speedway. We are going racing. That's right. Yeah, it's cloudy. That's okay. We're going racing though. We got the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and the Delta Dwarf Cars all in action on this beautiful Saturday here at Antioch Speedway. Why is it beautiful, you say? Because we're at the racetrack. How can you not have a good time at the racetrack? We have got cars in the pit area getting ready to go, and we're getting set for a driver's meeting here in just a little bit. So let's take our walk as we typically do. Walk around, see who we can find on this Saturday, see who's getting ready for racing action. Kellen Chadwick. See if I can get a hold of him. He's doing double duty again tonight. Kellen?
What's happening?
How you doing?
We're doing. How are you?
Good. Double duty again tonight?
Yeah, I guess so. Try again.
How you enjoying that stock car?
It's getting better. I mean, it's we struggled with it a little bit there at the beginning, but it's we're getting it closer. It's a lot of fun to drive.
You had a good run last week, and then it seemed like the handle went away a little bit later in the race.
Yeah, I don't think it was the handle. I think it was the driver. Honestly, I don't know. That one was all on me. I gave that one away. We had a really, really good race car, and I caught lap traffic, and I guess ran out of talent or forgot what I was doing, or I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was all my fault for sure.
What's the difference for you as a driver between your modified and the stock car?
Honestly, the stock car, for me, it seems like it needs to be driven a lot straighter. I wouldn't say straighter because I try to keep my modified as straight as possible as well, but the stock car, when it steps out, doesn't ever feel like it wants to square back up for you, where the modified, you can square it back up. The stock car, the more you can chase the right front, I think the better that race car is all the time.
Right. Well, who do you want to say thanks for getting you out here tonight?
There's a ton of people, honestly. First and foremost, my wife and my kids for dealing with this crap and letting me do what I do, and all the help that they give me and support. And then, oh man, we got Vanderbilt Race Cars, Fast Shafts, Weir's Machine. Who else? There's a ton of people on this thing. Hoppus Motorsports. Oh man. A&B Landscape, Pro Motorsports, Polar Bear Rolled Ice Cream. Rich allows me to get to play in his stock car as well, so that's big thanks to him as well.
Yep. All right, well, good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Running Kellen Chadwick, driver of the 83 IMCA Modified and the 87 IMCA Stock Car, getting ready for racing action as we're going to continue on down, see who else we can find on this beautiful Saturday here at Antioch Speedway. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of moisture in the air, but not too bad. Just really light sprinkles at the moment. We are racing. The track's in great condition as we continue on. Let's see if Mark is over here at the at his car, or if he's around. No, it looks like he's out screwing around. Hey, Joe! Let's talk to Joe Gallagher, driver of the one IMCA Stock Car. All by yourself tonight, huh?
Yeah, the Robert has school function to go to, so it's just me.
Yeah, those school functions get in the way.
Yeah, but something you got to do.
Good run last week. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What do you like more, the hobby stock or the stock car?
It's a toss-up. I like them both. Yeah.
And then you're going to be running this full season as well as the hobby stock down at Watsonville?
Yes.
Yeah. Defend your championship down there?
Yeah.
Try to win one here?
Try to win one here. That's the plan.
All right, well, good luck tonight. Who you want to say thanks for helping you get out here?
My family, my crew, and my wife.
All right. Joe Gallagher, driver of the one IMCA Stock Car. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
As we continue on, Jim Pettit pulling in with, here's someone who will come say hi to. Fast Freddy Ryland. Winner last week a couple of times. So, in the stock car, in the Sport Modified.
I can take these off.
You enjoying that? You enjoying that stock car?
I'm enjoying the stock car. Didn't have a handle on it for a long time, and I still don't know if we do or not, but of course last week it was really, really good. Hopefully it's just as good tonight, and it kind of stays there, at least in a ballpark where we can manage it, I mean, it was just so far out before it. I didn't think it was really that fun, but if it's competitive, I'll be happy.
that late race caution wasn't something you wanted to see. I mean, you were checked out.
Yeah, you don't know you're checked out. I couldn't see my guys telling me I was ahead that much, and I catch one lap car, and I was able to get around him, and I catch the other one, and there's no way I could get around the whole group of lap cars, and I'm like, somebody's got to be coming. It's only a matter of time, but
You were 3/4 of a lap ahead at that point.
Yeah.
There was a great race on behind you.
Yeah, great race behind me. Yeah, well, I did not know that, so I was trying to get around, and luckily there was a caution because I was getting a little antsy at the cars not, they don't need to let you by when there's a blue and white flag,
Yeah.
Let up, let me go, but they're nose to tail, so they're racing for position, so I get it.
All right, doing double duty again tonight, right?
Doing double duty tonight. Track's getting some natural water, hardly any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problem with the rain. It'll be good. So doing double duty again tonight. Raced last night in Merced. That was fun. And so see what we can do again tonight.
You didn't talk anybody into letting you into a World of Outlaw car last night?
No, I don't know if I'd have a desire to race one. I like the hot lap one, but not racing.
It's kind of crazy.
I like four wheels on the ground.
Who do you want to say thanks for helping you get out here?
My wife, first and foremost. Hope she's having fun in Yosemite right now. And PFC Brakes, Swift Springs, Weir's Machine, and Frisian Chevrolet.
All right. Fast Ready to Run. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Fast Ready running double duty, doing the IMCA Sport Modified and the IMCA stock car. Now let's sling over here. Got a cool looking car right here. The driver doesn't look as good as the car does, but you're running away. Oh, he's trying to look like he's doing something with tools in his hands.
He ran away because he knows it.
Mark Garner.
What's happening?
Long time no talk. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Nice.
I like your wrap job on this car.
It's the same wrap we had in Vegas.
Yep.
We were going to put a whole new body on the new car and decided not to. Aluminum's too expensive, so run it until it's not runnable anymore.
So new car, semi-used body.
Yes. Brand new chassis. It's a 2022 GRT. So just kind of trying to figure it out and feel it out. Didn't have the best of luck last week, but my fault, so we'll regroup this week.
So week one's about getting the feel for it and figuring out what you need anyway, right?
Yes. So I think we're going the right direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight and see how it turns out.
All right, what else you got on store this year?
We're just going to race when we want to, and we're going to have fun. We're going to camp, and we're going to hang out with my granddaughter, and just chill and relax. And we're going to move around this year.
Ah, good deal.
Not going to set stone anywhere, so we'll see.
So, I want to say thanks for getting out here.
Man, Randy Miller, R&J Landscaping, Delta Transmission, GRTs by 19K, Rebella Racing, Linex, Performance Muffler and Brake, Aerial Control, Sabrina's Pizza, my buddy Todd Gomez at All Spec Sheet Metal, Severed Metal, GRT, BHE, Mac Tools, Smog Guys, On the Hammer Podcast, Montalvo Motorsports, and I think that's my buddy Tim at East Bay Meal Preps, and I think I said about Montalvo Motorsports, and so we're just looking forward to it. We'd get my son's car out here in the next couple weeks, so we'll see.
What's he going to run? Hobby again?
No, he's got a sport mod.
Oh, very cool.
So he's got a 2015 BMS.
Have you ever raced against your son?
Yeah, a little bit. When he first came out in the limited late models, we ran a couple nights, and then he had some issues and could never get going the right direction. So I think now we're on the right page.
All right, Mark Garner, good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
IMCA Sport Modified, getting set for race.
Gentlemen, take off your hats. If you're a member of the military or former member of the military, thank you for your service to your country. If you're a first responder, thank you for your service to your community. Tonight, going to break out the United States Marine Corps Band for our Star Spangled Banner. United States Marine Band with tonight's rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. All right, I want to give a shout-out. Fellowship Church Couples Date Night Small Group. Where are you at? Stand up, jump up and down, make lots of noise. Let's hear from you. Couples Date Night from the Fellowship Church coming out, their small group coming out to watch the races here at Antioch Speedway. Welcome to the fun. Glad you're here. Hope to have you back in the very near future. We do this every Saturday night, in case you're wondering. Hope you have a great time. Michaela Taylor, driver of the 71A Pacific Coast Hobby Stock. She turns 17 years old tomorrow. Michaela, if you can hear me out there in a bit, happy birthday! One of our young guns here. As a matter of fact, here was earlier this evening talking with Michaela.
What I got to do here? Michaela, come here. Camera guy is rough, I know. But. It is Michaela's 17th birthday tomorrow. And I know you're not running, your hobby's not here tonight, but...
No, it'll be here next week.
So, but you had to... I heard you had a interesting experience last week.
Something I didn't want to do, I'll tell you that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was that?
No power steering at all.
So you got to find out what it was like in the old days.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So you got the power steering fixed and you're ready to go for next week?
Yeah.
All right, good deal. And then sitting right here in front of you, you got a car that you'll run after the points season this year, getting ready for next year, a Sport Modified. You getting excited about that?
A little nervous, but yeah.
A little nervous?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to do a good job. And like I told Misty last year, I called that she was going to win a race. I'm predicting you're winning a race this year.
Thank you. I hope I do.
You're running fast.
Thanks.
Okay, so 17th birthday. Everybody's got to join in with me. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Michaela. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
17. Oh, one more year, then you're a legal adult.
Unfortunately, yes.
I know the feeling. All right, happy birthday.
That was Michaela Taylor. I went out and visited her during the live the pre-race show. So happy birthday, Michaela Taylor. Out there getting set. As we were talking about, she's got Tommy Kleiman's running the 71A Sport Modified. That's going to be her car come later this year after the points season is over. She will be stepping into that car and then running for Rookie of the Year next year in the Sport Modified ranks. Want to give a shout out to Pacific Coast General Engineering. Want to say thanks to them. They're one of our many track sponsors here at Antioch Speedway. Their number is 925-252-0214. That's 925-252-0214. Pacific Coast General Engineering. They are now the title sponsor for the Hobby Stocks. It is now the Hobby Stock, the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks here at Antioch Speedway. General Plumbing Supply Company out in Brentwood, California. Their number 925-634-6660. 925-634-6660. General Plumbing Supply Company in Brentwood, California. McCauley's Agricultural and Pest Services. They do lawn and tree care, weed spraying, and pest services. And you can give them a call at 925-634-1255. 925-634-1255. McCauley's Agricultural and Pest Services. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. For all your auto parts needs, head on over to O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Try that again. Cocoa Farms. Check them out at enjoycocofarms.com. Cocoa Farms, gas up with Cocoa Farms. Delta Transmission. They do foreign and domestic transmissions, standard and auto, rear differentials, transfer cases, and drive lines. And you can find them at 1105 Sunset Drive in Antioch. Their number is 925-754-1870. 925-754-1870. Delta Transmission and Drive Lines right here in Antioch. C&J Favalora Trucking in Martinez, California. It's a place to go for all your trucking needs, all your They're hauling dirt and stuff. They're dump trucks. C&J Favalora Trucking. Polar Bear rolled ice cream. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I had some Polar Bear rolled ice cream a couple nights ago. They're located at 2581 Main Street in Oakley. They're number 925-666-8915. Polar Bear PolarBearIceCreamShop.com is the website. Check it out. And I highly recommend the Pina Colada. It was absolutely fantastic. And, folks, they make the ice cream right in front of you. It's very cool. Print Club, another proud sponsor here at Antioch Speedway. They're number 925-754-8771. Print Club right here in Antioch for all your printing needs. Cresco Equipment Rentals of the Bay Area for all your equipment rental needs. Give Cresco a call, 800-573-1732. 800-573-1732. Cresco Equipment Rentals. Antioch Glass, for all your glass needs. Give Antioch Glass a call at 925-777-9191. 925-777-9191. Another proud sponsor here at Antioch Speedway. As we get set for the main events coming up here in just a couple of minutes. On this beautiful Saturday of racing here, we didn't think we were going to race in. It is underway as we are ready for the main events. Ellie Russo is going to lead the field for the dwarf cars here tonight. She had a great run in her heat race, leading 7 3/4 laps, unfortunately. That last quarter lap was the one she didn't run or win or lead, and Devin Cameron drove around on the outside, picking up heat race number 1 for them. He's going to start in the 4th spot. Starting lineup for the Delta Dwarf cars looks like this. Starting on the point out of Bay Point, California in the 31 Double D, it's Ellie Russo. To her outside out of Bay Point, California in the 11 Double D, Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Row number 2 out of Hollister, California in the 12 car, it's Justin Bingham. To his outside, winner of heat race number 1 earlier tonight out of Dublin, California, the 18 Double D, Devin Camberman. Row number 3. Out of Antioch, California, in the 68 car, it's Dynamite Dave Rosa. To his outside, it is the 43 Double D out of Brentwood, California, Sean Catucci. In the 7th starting spot, out of Parts Unknown, the 85 Double D, that's Jack Haverty. To his outside, out of Antioch, California, in the 7XL, Roberto Monroy, a.k.a. Bob. In the 9th starting spot, out of Antioch, California, the 2 Double D, that is David Michael Rosa. In the 10th starting spot, out of Antioch, California, in the 812 Double D. Folks, give a big shout-out for the 812 Double D. Chance Russell's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Chance. Chance Russell, birthday tomorrow. He is driver of that 812 Double D starting in the 10th spot. 11th starting spot, the 38 car, out of Vacaville, California, it's John Tardif. The 12th starting spot, out of Discovery Bray, it's the 96 of Pete Pintada. The 13th starter out of Concord, the 2020 champion in the 88 Double D, that's Travis Day. The 14th starter out of Livermore, California, driving the 47R, Joey Schreffler. Your 15th starting spot out of Tracy, California, in the 47 car, Mario Marquez. Your 16th starter out of Tracy, California, in the 0 car, Charlie Correa. And Tyler Applebaum, starting in the back of the pack out of Antioch, California, in the 33 car. 1 car leaving the racetrack. Didn't quite see who it was. I think it was the 33. But I do know that 0 of Charlie Correa is a scratch. As they come around. Getting set for main event action.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
Ladies and gentlemen, as they come around, get on your feet, wave your hands, your hats, jump up and down, make lots of noise, give them a big thank you. I give you the Delta Dwarf Car.
Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
Delta Dwarf Cars getting ready for 20 laps. A main event. Ellie Russo on the point. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner on the outside. Lights going out. We go green flag next time by. Just stomp on it, Bob. His daughter is in that fellowship church. Couples date night. So, hello, hello. Hopefully you taught your dad how to stomp. He needs help. He lost to a spider. Ellie Russo bringing him around. She's got Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner on the outside. Wagner, KG veteran. Ellie still early in her career. Green flag in the air down the front straightaway. Captain Chaos, Wagner gets to turn number one first. Deborah Cameron on the outside gets around Ellie. Ellie falls back to third spot. One car goes around in turn number one. Got two cars sitting over there. Yellow is out. After the 96 and the 7XL of Bob, Roberto Monroy, get together in turn number two. They're stuck together. They're going to have to get them separated. 96, of course, is Pete Pianatita. Pianatita. I'm struggling with his name. Hearing over the radio, 96 spun on his own, and Bob had nowhere to go. That's the cause of this yellow. So, Pete. Pete in 96 spinning. Got, I think that's the 12 car sitting on the infield on the back straightaway. Got the door open there. I think that's Justin Bingham. Yep, that is a 12 car Bingham on the back straightaway. So we did not get a lap in, so we will go to the restart. Or go back to the initial start, excuse me. I was talking to Roberto Monroy last week, and he talked about how much he struggles at this track. He races other tracks and has a lot of success, and just struggles at Antioch Speedway. This is his home track, and just hasn't gotten it figured out. Working on getting those two cars separated in turn number two. Got the 96 and the 7XL. Also have the 12 of Bingham on the back straightaway on the inside there. Delta Dwarf Cars have their national event coming up later in the year in July. Had a lot of fun at that last year. That is '15th and 16th. Of July. It will be the Delta Dwarf Car national event. Got their national event only in their second year of existence after a very successful regional event in 2020. So look forward to that. They'll be joined on the 15th with by the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks and the New England Sprint Cars. On the 16th, they'll be joined by the IMCA Stock Cars and the Extreme Limited Late Model Series, a series started by Mike Slaney and some other folks. It is a touring limited late model series. trying to keep that division up and running. So we looked at the month of April, looking at the month of May. On May 7th, it is the Mother's Day minivan race. It's a highly popular race last year. If you're a mom and you haven't raced before, that's the key. You can't be, sorry, Mighty Mouse, Melissa Myers, you're not eligible for the Mother's Day minivan race. You have too much experience. But if you don't have racing experience, love to see you in a minivan on Mother's Day weekend. That is May 7th. You'll be joined by the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds, the IMCA Modifieds, and the IMCA Stock Cars, along with the minivan race. On May 14th, it is a Saturday, and we are going to have our first Destruction Derby that we've had here at the track in the last number of years. Have not had one since I've been here. I've been here, I think, 8 years. So it's going to be fun watching the Destruction Derby. On May 21st, the Delta Dwarf Cars will be back with the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, the Wingless Sprint Cars, and the IMCA Stock Cars. On the 28th of May, that'll be Memorial Weekend. It is the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds, Hard Tops, and Extreme Limited Late Model Series, all on Saturday, May 28th. Hedrick Memorial is on June 4th this year with the Modifieds, the Sport Modifieds, the Dwarf Cars, and the Stock Cars. And the 11th will be the Hobby Stocks, Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, the Wingless Sprint Cars, Mini Stocks, and the WMR Midgets, all on June 11th. On the 18th of June, it will be the Delta Dwarf Cars, the Wingless Sprints, and the Extreme Limited Late Model Series. And on the 25th, of June, we're having motorcycle races. It'll be the flat track motorcycle races taking place on June 25th. Yellow lights coming back on. Ellie Russo is on the point. We are going back. Original start, so Ellie Russo, Danny Wagner on the front row. Justin Bingham was scheduled to be inside row number 2, but he is that 12 car that was having trouble. Yellow and red flag, that signifies original restart lineup. Bob down there, pink hair. In the back, working on getting the lineup set. So should be Dynamite Dave Rosa inside row 2. That will be the 68 car. He is up there. Jack Haverty will come next. Just trying to look because we did lose the 12 car from inside row number 2, Justin Bingham. Traveling up here from Hollister. Ellie Russo, can she hold off? Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Lights going out. We're going green flag racing next time by. 0 laps down, 20 laps is the main event. Thanks for coming out on this beautiful Saturday night for racing. Ellie Russo has control of the field. 20-lap main event for the Delta Dwarf Cars. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner to her outside. Dynamite Dave Rosa inside row 2. Devin Cameron inside or outside row 2. Jack Haverty, Sean Catucci, row 3. David Michael Rosa and Chance Russell, birthday boy, in row 4. Ellie Russo hard on the gas. Gets a good jump on Danny. Danny battles back on the outside down to turn number 1. He drove in deep. Comes up off turn number 2. Devin Cameron working to the outside of Ellie Russo. Picks up that second spot. Ellie back to third. She now has Dynamite Dave Rosa to her outside. Battle for the third spot. 1 down, 19 to go. Sean Catucci now battling inside Dynamite Dave. The battles for the 4th spot as they come up. The 43 car gets around Dynamite Dave. Puts Catucci up into the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Ellie falling into the wheel tracks of Danny Wagner. The great person to follow, learned a lot at that point. She had better success last Friday night in the national event down in Mojave than Danny did. Danny struggled. Ellie made it direct to the main. Didn't have to go through the B main to get there. 3 laps down, 17 to go. I'm sorry, that's Devin Cameron in the wheel tracks of Danny. Ellie's back in the 3rd spot. She's got Sean Catucci on her back. Putting lap number 4 in the books is Captain Chaos. All those cars look the same except for the numbers. Catucci down on the low side of Ellie Russo. They may have touched in the center of 1 and 2. Coming up off turn number 2, Ellie keeps Sean pinned down on the inside. As they come up off the turn into turn number 3, Catucci pushes up the hill. Ellie crosses back over. Gets underneath and picks that third spot back up. But Ellie Russo there in the third spot. Give you a rundown real quick. Oh, one car going through the infield. Travis Day. Dynamite Dave spins off turn number 4. Yellow flag is out. By my count, 5 laps in the books. Dynamite Dave spinning down to the inside in turn number 4, up off turn number 4. Gets that thing refired. 5 down, 15 to go. Looks like Travis Day, not sure if he spun, but he came up off the infield. Lineup set, so Danny Wagner, Devin Cameron, 1-2. Ellie Russo in the third spot. Cameron puts Russo down on the low side. Sean Catucci fourth. Fifth is going to be Chance Russell. Sixth, Jack Haverty. Seventh is David Michael Rosa. Eighth is Travis Day. Ninth, Mario Marquez. John Tardiff. Mario Marquez, 10th. Or split that, 9th and 10th. John Tardiff, 10th. 11th is going to be David Michael Rosa. Dave Rosa. And I think the 43R of Joey Schreffler out of Livermore. Light is out, coming around to the green flag. 5 laps down, 15 to go. Texas style restart. Danny Wagner gets the front row to himself. Second place, Devin Cameron gets to choose the high side or low side. He chooses the high side, puts Ellie Russo in third place down on the low side. Green flag back in the air. Wagner down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Ellie Russo on his Devin Cameron in his wheel tracks. Russo trying to hold off the 43. The 812 of Chance Russell. Russell dives in there deep into turn number 3, gets around Russo. Now, Russo trying to hold off the David Michael Rosa car. He climbs up to 4th, and she's got Sean Catucci down below her. But up front, it is Danny Wagner, with Devin Cameron all over his rear bumper. Coming up off turn number 4. Cameron giving Wagner everything he's got right now. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Chance Russell right there. He wants involved in this action. Dynamite Dave Rosa not picking up many spots after that spin. Bring out our first yellow flag. 8 laps down, 12 laps remain. This 20-lap main event. It is Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, Devin Cameron in the second spot, Chance Russell, David Michael Rosa 4th. 5th is going to be Ellie Russo. 6th is going to be Jack Haverty. He gets underneath Ellie Russo, put Haverty up to 5th. Russo back to 6th. Then we got Sean Catucci in the 7th spot. Russo's car handling going away. Catucci gets around her now. Then we're back to Travis Day. 10 down, 10 to go, halfway done. Behind Travis Day in the 10th spot, it is Dynamite Dave Rosa in the 11th spot. 12th is going to be 47 Mario Marquez. He's trying to get to the pits. Having a problem with that 47 Double D car. He leaves the racetrack. And then 38 John Tardiff at the back of the pack. Battle for the lead into turn number 1. Devin Cameron down on the low side of Captain Chaos. Danny Wagner uses that high side to keep the momentum up. Coming up off turn number 2. Here comes Devin Cameron trying to do a little diamond motion. In turns 3 and 4, doesn't work this time. Danny Wagner holding them off. Got about 2.5 car lengths down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Wagner, Cameron, and Russell running nose to tail. 13 down, 7 to go. Cameron gets a little bit loose. He slides down the hill, collects the 812 of Chance Russell. Russell spins out on the exit of turn number 2. Yellow flag is out. That all started when the 18 car got loose and came down the hill and their wheels touched. Waiting to see if I can see anything on the video, but that all started. The 18 and the 812 came together, and that cost Chance, spun them around after their wheels touched. Yep, Cameraman got loose going into turn number 1 and trying to catch it. Chance Russell, his right front contacted Devin Cameraman's left rear, and around went Russell. Hopefully no damage on that right front. Hopefully he can get it pushed out, and he opens the door over there. Not what the birthday boy wanted. $13 down, 7 to go. And there is damage on the right front. That is going to do it for Chance Russell, being tow truck being called over for Chance Russell. He has lost his steering, or very limited steering from what I'm hearing. Don't forget, next Saturday night, we're going racing with the Delta Dwarf cars. Are going to be back. The Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks will be here. The Super Stocks and the Mini Stocks. Super Stocks and Mini Stocks making their season debut next Saturday night right here at Antioch Speedway. Getting the hook over there to the front of Chance Russell's car. Driver of the 812 celebrating a birthday tomorrow, along with Michaela Taylor, also having her 17th birthday tomorrow. If you can't be here on a Saturday night, don't forget you can always watch on Antioch Speedway TV. Slide on over to AntiochSpeedway.tv and watch all the racing action. Live flag to flag. Getting Chance Russell's car towed off the racetrack. Get him to the infield. We'll get these cars lined back up. Danny Wagner on the point. 13 laps down, 7 to go in this 20-lap main event for the Dwarf cars. Can Danny Wagner hold on for the win? He's going for the championship this year. Trying to win the West Coast Pro Championship as well. So you're running over right now, Captain Cass, Danny Wagner, Devin Cameraman, David Michael Rosa, Sean Catucci, Jack Haverty, L.A. Russo, Travis Day, Joey Streffler in that 47R car, Dynamite Dave Rosa, and John Tardif rounding out the field. Devin Cameron taking the high side, putting David Michael Rosa down on the low side yet again. Green flag in the air. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner with a great run. Devin Cameron trying to hold off Dynamite. David Michael Rosa down into turn number 3. Rosa looks a little bit lower than Cameron. Nothing doing there. Battle for second continues down into turn number 1. This time, top 3 nose to tail. Oh, Rosa gets up over the cushion a little bit, opens up the door. Sean Catucci works his way and picks up that 3rd spot. Here comes David Michael Rosa. They touch. Catucci on his side, on his lid after David Michael Rosa and him get together wheels. Sean Catucci moving around, getting his steering wheel off. Thumbs up from Sean Catucci. Taking a look at the video as they come around. Sean Catucci got around Rosa as they exited turn number 2. Rosa went in low, came up the hill a little bit, and their wheels touched, and Catucci ends up on his lid. Sean Catucci heading to the pits. Getting the cars rolling. Going to get Sean's car off the racetrack. Getting these cars lined back up. A little bit of extracurricular activity. Getting Sean across the racetrack. Seven laps to go in this 20-lap main event for the Delta Dwarf cars. Ellie Russo started on the point. She fell back right on the start as Captain Chaos Danny Wagner worked around her going down the front straightaway into turn number one. And Devin Kammerman was able to drive around her. She ran back there in the third spot for a little bit and has lost a couple more spots. She was involved in that incident over there as Catucci was going over. She did get involved in that, as did Jack Haverty. Looks like Ellie did go back to the pits to get that car checked. David Michael Rosa getting the black flag for that driving over there in turn number 3. Got the IMC stock cars lining up back there. Coming up next. Look at our schedule again. That Demolition Derby weekend is, I believe, Fair Week coming up in May. All right, cars lined up. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner on the point. Devin Kammerman second. Jack Haverty in the third spot. Travis Day fourth. Fifth is Dynamite Dave Rosa. Sixth is John Tardif, and seventh will be the 47R. of Joey Schreffler. Wagner bringing him down the back straightaway, a little bit slow. 7 laps remain in this 20-lap main event. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, with control of the field, bringing it around, gets hard on the gas. Up off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Into turn number 1, Jack Haverty gets around Devin Cameron. Cameron crosses over, comes back on the inside and takes that second spot back. Haverty back to the third spot. Haverty fights on the high side. Cameron slides up the hill. They almost touch as Haverty has a problem. He spins to the inside. Flat left front tire after contact with Devin Cameron on that 85 car, going to bring out the yellow. The 85 and the 18 touched just briefly over there in the middle of 3 and 4, and that put let all the air out of the left front of the Jack Haverty 85 car. Jack Haverty heading back to the pits, get that thing fixed. $15 laps down, 5 to go. Going to be single file restart from what I hear. Danny Wagner on the point. Devin Cameron second. Travis Day third. Dynamite Dave into 4 spot. 5th is John Tardif. 6th is Joey Schreffler. Danny Wagner bringing him around nice and slow. If he does it like he has the last couple times, gets on the gas early. And there he goes. Up off turn number 4 down the front straightaway with about 2 car lengths out in front of Devin Cameron. Cameron closes up just a little bit on the entrance to the turn. Coming up off turn number 2, though, Danny Wagner stretches it out down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Going to cross the line and put lap number 16 in the books. 4 to go in this 20-lap main event for the Delta Dwarf cars. Danny Wagner, Devin Cameron, Travis Day, Dave Rosa, John Tardif, and Joey Schreffler. Here's your running order. 17 down, 3 to go. Danny Wagner. Sounds like he's right up on the chip, either him or Devin Cameron on that motor. Running right up against the cushion, coming around 2 to go this time by. Bob shows the stretched out green flag. With the up and down green flag as Danny Wagner comes up off turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Going to see the white flag this next time by. Danny Wagner off turn number 4. One more time around. He's stretching out just a little bit over Devin Cameron. Cameron not close enough to make a move. Captain Chaos going to come down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As long as he keeps it off the walls, keeps it running down the infield. As Cameron pushes hard, he gets loose. Danny Wagner with the win. Devin Cameron second. Travis Day is going to be 3rd, Dynamite Dave 4th, and John Tardif 5th with Joey Schreffler in the 6th spot. Victory Lane coming up next. Danny Wagner for the Delta Dwarf car. Main event, first one of the 2022 season. He's unbuckling his belts, getting ready to climb out. Past champion, multiple-time winner, leader of the Delta Dwarf Cars. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner! Danny, we talked before the race, and I remember we talked over the offseason, and your goal this year is track championship and the Western States Championship. This is a good way to start.
Yeah, it's a good way to start after Arizona last weekend, Mojave, 2-day national. We were there. I struggled Friday night, and then Saturday night finally got the car good, and the lights went out at the track, so they called the Pro A main. So I never got to redeem myself after Friday night. So it feels good to be back home and pick up the first 2022 win.
You had a big battle. Was keeping up with you and really putting a lot of pressure on you. Could you tell he was there?
Yeah, I seen him once. I heard him a couple times. It's great. That's what we need. Competition, week in, week out, makes us all faster when we get traveling.
He made a big run on you on that last lap, went down into turn 3, and just got a little bit loose, so couldn't quite make a move on the inside on that final, coming up off the final turn.
That's what it takes. I mean, he's getting fast. Everybody in the Delta Dwarf Cars have really picked up their pace the last year, so it's good to see, and we'll all get better racing with each other.
Who do you
There's a lot of people that goes into it all. Wagner Racing, A&J Hauling, Western Mobile Service, DeCarlo Racing Products, R&H Motorsports, All Spec Sheet Metal, Dutra Racing Shocks, Dahlgren Motors. There's a ton of people that go into it. My mom, my dad, everybody that goes into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We got the IMCA stock cars coming up next. Thank you very much. IMCA stock car main event scheduled to start on the point. In the 9S, it's Jeff Betancourt. He's a scratch, so that's going to move the inside row up. Well, this is the starting lineup. Jason Robles on the outside of the front row in the 78 car. Inside row number 2. In the 15A out of South San Francisco, Dave Hill. Outside row 2 in the 4th starting spot out of San Jose, California, the 1 car, Joe Gallagher. Inside row 3, out of Martinez, California, 2021 champion and rookie of the year, the 22 car of Travis Dutra. Out of Morgan Hill, California, starting 6th. In the 15G, Anthony Giuliani. At the back of the pack, out of Oakley, California, in the 87 car, Kellen Chadwick. And at outside row number 4 in the 8th starting spot, winner last week. Out of Brentwood, California, the 7J, Fast Freddie Ryland. Come around, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet, wave your hands, your hats, jump up and down, make lots of noise. Give it up with the IMCA Stock Cars. green flag racing next time by for the IMCA Stock Car. Jeff Bencourt not able to make it. For the calls, Jason Robles. On the outside, Dave Hill moves up to the point. He has control of the field in that 15A out of South San Francisco. Picking up the speed through 3 and 4. Coming up off turn number 4. Green flag in the air. Jason Robles gets out to turn number 1 first out in front of Dave Hill. He stretches it out a little bit, as does Dave. Battle for third right now with Joe Gallagher on the outside. Travis Dutra down on the low side. Here comes one car. That is the 15G of Anthony Giuliani trying to get underneath Travis Dutra as Joe Gallagher gets out in front and clears the 22 car. Into the third spot goes the one car. Jason Robles still on the point, coming across the line to put lap number 2 in the books. Jason Robles, Dave Hill, Joe Gallagher, Travis Dutra. Fast Freddie Rollins climbed up to the 5th spot. 6 is Anthony Giuliani, and back in the pack, it's Kellen Chadwick. Kellen had a great run last week. Led a bunch of the race and ran into trouble when he caught up on some lower traffic. Battling right in front of him, and he lost the lead at that point. Trying to work his way forward. Fast Freddie picked up a couple spots so far, not able to get around the Travis Dutra car. Joe Gallagher shoots up the hill and loses 2 spots, almost into the fence off turn number 4. Something happened to that one car in the middle of turn number 4. Opens up the door, Anthony Giuliani to his inside. Kellen Chadwick into the back of the 15. As Giuliani had to get out of the gas a little bit. 5 laps down, 15 to go. Jason Robles out of Rio Vista, California is our leader. Dave Hill out of South San Francisco second. Fast Freddie Ryland has finally gotten around to 22 of Travis Dutra. Hearing one of the 15 cars, that might be Giuliani's got a left rear flat or a left side flat on the 15G. Yep, Giuliani with a flat left rear tire. As we're going to cross the line, put lap number 7 into books. Jason Robles, 3-way battle for second. Fast Freddie Ryland all over the backside. Now goes underneath Dave Hill, side by side through turns 1 and 2. Travis Dutra tries to keep up with him. He gets a little bit high in turns 1 and 2 and loses a couple car lengths, but that battle for second continues as Dave Hill closes the door, puts Fast Freddie back in line, but Fast Freddie's not giving up yet. He's not Dutra all over his back bumper too. Freddie has a good run through the center of 2 and off, but had to get on the binders because Dave Hill was in his line. 9 down. 11 laps remain in this 20-lap main event for the IMCA Stock Cars here tonight on this beautiful Saturday for racing. Dutra now underneath Fast Freddie Ryland. And he has to get back out of the gas. Some contact. Jason Robles is saying, thanks, guys. 10 down, 10 to go. We're halfway done. Here comes Kellen Chadwick. It's now a 4-way battle for second. You got Fast Freddie on the inside of Dave Hill. Dave Hill still in the second spot. Freddie third. Travis Dutra on the high side in 4th spot, but Kellen Chadwick down on the inside in that 5th spot, battling back and forth. Once again, Fast Freddie has to fall back in line behind Dave Hill. Coming up off turn number 4. Jason Robles says, y'all just keep on going because I'm pulling away. He's got a full straightaway lead right now. That's why we're not talking about the leaders. Crosses the line. I believe 12 down, 8 to go. Fast Freddie once again underneath Dave Hill down the straightaway into turn number 1. Trying to work around that 15A car. Freddie's car gets a little bit loose on the exit of turn number 2. Has a good run down the back straightaway, 13 down. Here we go. Fast Freddie got a good run up off turn number 4. Fast Freddie finally clears Dave Hill. Dave Hill now has to deal with Travis Dutra. He's on the inside. Here comes Kellen Chadwick, 3 wide coming up off turn number 2. 14 laps down, 6 to go. Freddie now checking out from Dave Hill. He's got a long way to go and a short time to get there as our leader, Jason Robles, is going to cross the line and put lap number 15 into books. Only 5 remain. So it is Jason Robles, Fast Freddie Ryland, Dave Hill, Travis Dutra, Kellen Chadwick, and Joe Gallagher rounding out the field. And a little more than a straightaway lead for Jason Robles over Fast Freddie Ryland. Robles comes up off turn number 4, crosses the line, puts lap number 16 into books. Fast Freddie way back there. I'd give you a split, but timing and scoring our loop's not working properly tonight, so do apologize about that. Battle for third as Travis Dutra gets underneath Dave Hill this time. Had to split the needle. Gets down to turn number 3, put Travis Dutra into third, but here comes Dave Hill, crossing over back on the inside and picks that third spot back up. Kellen Chadwick's right there. 4 cars battling for that third spot. 2 to go as Jason Robles crosses the line. Dutra once again trying to get underneath Dave Hill. Side by side through 3 and 4. He has to fall back in line. That high side working well for Dave Hill in that 15A car. He's able to hold these faster cars off. I'm willing to bet, like Fast Freddy did, if they can get around them, they can pull away. White flag in the air one more time around for Jason Robles out of Rio Vista, California. It's Robles, Fast Freddy Ryland, Dave Hill still, Travis Dutra, Kellen Chadwick, and Joe Gallagher, your running order. Checkered flags coming out. Jason Robles going to lead flag to flag on this Saturday night season, the 2022 season, night number 2. Here comes Travis Dutra. Dave Hill shot up the hill. He gets in the back of Kellen Chadwick. Ryland second, Dutra third, 4th is Kellen, and 5th will be Dave Hill, Joe Gallagher 6th, and I'm heading down for victory lane. Jason Robles picking up the win for the IMCA Stock Cars tonight. Jason Robles, winner of tonight's IMCA Stock Car main event. Here's what he had to say in victory lane. Jason pulls into victory lane. Working on getting his helmet off. Jason spends a whole lot of time here at the racetrack as he is in charge of track prep. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Give it up for Jason Robles. Jason Robles out of Rio Vista, California. Check, check. Jason?
Yes, sir.
There's a great race behind you, but you got on the field.
Yeah, I racing Fred and Kellen. It's an honor to win, that's for sure.
As we seem to have some microphone issues here. You got out front, you didn't ever look back. What was about your car tonight that just worked so well for you?
It was good. It was slick on entry in 1. It was pretty tacky in the 3 and 4, so it was good.
It's not working, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Yeah, right now the PA's not working, so I gotta get that fixed real quick. Check, 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 check. Check, check. What's that? PA went out again. PA went out.
I was going to say, I could hear you talking on the TV, but
yeah, no, the PA's... Check, check, check. Check, check. All right. We have... Hey, Larry. PA went out. PA's out. Check, check, check. As we get set. As we get set for racing action on the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds. Track PA system is out, so just got you here on Antioch Speedway TV. Kevin, good thumbs up. So we do have sound to the feed. That's good. Unfortunately, no one in the stands can hear us. What's going on? Getting ready for IMCA Sport Modified action. Fast Freddie Ryland had to make the switch. And Nicholas Zapatero, scheduled to start on the point out of Antioch, California, in that number 1 car. Check, check, 1, 2. Kevin, you got it? Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, we're back on the air. All right, getting set for IMCA Sport Modified action. As we get set, Nicholas Zapatero scheduled to start on the point out of Antioch, California. Waiting for Fast Freddie Ryland to get into his Sport Modified after running in the IMCA Stock Car event. Front row, Nicholas Zapatero out of Antioch in the 1 car. Outside the front row, Casey Kettler out of Tracy, California in the 38 car. Row 2, Chuck Golden out of Pittsburgh in the 3 car, looking to see if he's going to drop to the back as he did in his heat race. Outside row 2 is going to be Jake Betancourt out of Brentwood, California in the 29B. Starting 5th, it's good Jacob Mallow Jr. out of Oakley, California in the 127. 6th will be Mark Garner out of Antioch in the 76A. Starting 7th, Tyler Brown in the 325. He's out of Oakley, California. And then it's Oakley, California's Tommy Climans in the 71A, starting 8th. 9th, Fast Freddie Ryland out of Brentwood, California in the 7J. And then Fraser Park, California's Cale Kankey in the 33 car. 11th, Andrew Pierce, Kid Smooth out of Oakley, California in the 15P. He had trouble in his heat race, got caught up in someone else's mess and broke the right front. They got that thing fixed. He is back out. Jason Ryan Jr. out of Oakley, California, starting 7th. 8th, it's going to be Matt Pitts out of Rodeo, California, in the 16 car. That's your starting lineup for tonight's IMCA Northern Sports Modified main event. Ladies and gentlemen, as they come around, get on your feet, wave your hands, your hats, jump up and down, make lots of noise. Give it up for the IMCA Northern Sports Modified. Flag racing next time by. Nicholas Zapatero has control of the field to his outside, Casey Keller. You can never go wrong picking on Casey Keller. He is always a hard one to beat, especially when he starts up front. Look for Keller to be battling for the lead on the start. As he does, coming up off turn number 4. Keller down to turn number 1 first. Zapatero falls in line in second. He's got Jacob Mallow Jr. trying to get underneath him. No doing there. Zapatero clears that car. Falls in line behind the Casey Keller car. Coming up off turn number 4, Keller. Lap number 1 in the books. 1 down, 19 to go in this 20-lap main event for the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds. Battles for third. You got Jacob Mallow Jr. on the low side, the 29C of Jake Betancourt. In just his second outing in that Sport Modified. Holding him off. Good run for Jake. He's now in the third. Here comes Jacob Mallow Jr. He dove into turn number 1 hard. Fast Freddie gets underneath him. 3 wide coming up off turn number 2. Jacob Mallow had to get out of the gas. He was getting squeezed as a meat and that sandwich. 3 down, 17 to go. Fast Freddie's trying to get underneath the 29B of Jake Betancourt. He clears him as Betancourt pushes up the hill, gets loose. Oh, somehow saved it from hitting the wall. Going to lose about 5 positions. As our leader crosses the line, Casey Keller puts lap number 4 in the books. Nicholas Zapatero just kind of trying to watch him and stay caught up with him. We got 3 cars piled up in turn number 1. We got the Tommy Clemens car involved, Jason Ryan Jr. and Andrew Pierce. Everyone rolls away except for Tommy Clemens. He rolls into the infield, but not far enough away from the racing service. The yellow flag comes in. Four down, 16 to go. That lap did not count. We did not get the field through. Tommy Clemens. His rear end is broke. That's what happened to the 71. Uh-oh. Tommy Clemens. Broken rear end getting put on the hook down there. That's 71A. 4 laps down. 4 laps down, 16 to go in this 20-lap main event for the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds. Casey Keller is our leader. Nicholas Zapatero second. Fast Freddie Rylands climbed his way up to third after starting back in the 9th spot. Fast Freddy climbing up quickly. Jacob Mallet Jr. in the 4th spot. 5th is going to be the 33 of Cale Kanke out of Fraser Park, California. Mark Garner there in the 6th spot. 7th is the Tyler Brown car, 325. 8th is going to be Jake Betancourt. Jake Betancourt down the inside. He's got Andrew Pierce, Kid Smooth, that was outside. Then Jason Ryan Jr., Chuck Golden, and at the back of the pack, it's Matt Pitts. Lights out, coming around to the green flag this time. As we get set for racing action to continue. Green flag in the air. Casey Keller has a great start on the high side. Down into turn number 1. He's got fast rate. Oh, one car goes around. Nicholas Zapatero into the side of Jacob Mallet Jr. Cars are spinning. And once again, Nicholas Zapatero down on the inside infield. Yellow flag back out. Zapatero looked like he spun all on his own there. Nicholas Zapatero spinning all on his own down there. Got into the side of Jacob Mallet Jr. in the process. Kicking up a big cloud of smoke. As we've talked about before, Nicholas Zapatero only a couple years into dirt track racing. Previously was a drag racer. A couple years ago, bought a hobby stock, decided he wanted to turn left. Still 4 down, 16 to go. Fast Freddy's going to take the high side, put Jacob Mallet Jr. down on the low side. Kanke inside row 3 with Garner, who's outside. Then we got Brown and Betancourt. Pierce, Ryan Jr., Chuck Golden with Matt Pitts, who is outside, and Nicholas Zapatero at the back of the pack after spinning down there in turn number 2. Casey Keller starting up high. Gets on the gas halfway through 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He's got Fast Freddy Ryland on his rear bumper. He's got Jacob Mallet Jr. trying to get low. Entering the turn, Mallet had a good run, but he could not get center off. Here comes Fast Freddy to the outside of Jacob Mallet Jr. Freddy clears him coming up off turn number 4. 5 down, 15 to go in this 20-lap main event for the IMCA Northern Sports Modifieds. Fast Freddy looking to the inside. Battle for the lead down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Fast Freddy low. Casey Keller high. Fast Freddy with a slight advantage off 4, but that high side momentum carries for Casey Keller, putting lap number 6 in the books. They're still side by side into turn number 1. Keller's car hits a little bit of bump, bobbles a little bit, opens up the door. Fast Freddy clears it. Now Keller crosses over, gets back underneath him in turn number 3. Fast Freddy closes the door. 7 down, 13 to go. Fast Freddy trying to make it 2 weeks in a row here, winning for the IMCA Sport Modified main events. Freddy checking out. Casey Keller in second. He's got Jacob Mallet Jr. all over his rear bumper. Mallet trying to peek on the inside, coming through turn number 4. Not close enough to make a move. Goes a little low in turn number 1. Gets side by side off Casey Keller. Keller looked like he may have slipped up just a little bit and lost a little momentum on the exit. Now Mallet Jr. pushes in the center of the turn and just about lost that position back to Casey Keller, but able to get back on the gas. Fast Freddy's checking out. 8 down, 12 to go. Oh, 9 down, I'm sorry, 9 down, 11 to go. We're halfway done now. 10 and 10. Jacob Mallet Jr. now starting to pull away from Casey Keller. Keller's car not handling as well as it did the first couple laps. He is losing ground. to Jacob Mallett Jr. Mallett not able to catch up on Fast Freddy, though. Got about a 1.2 second lead between Fast Freddy and Jacob Mallett Jr. Putting lap number 12 in the books. 8 laps remain. Now Fast Freddy catching slower traffic. He's got Matt Pitts right in front of him. He's got a good half a straightaway back to second place of Jacob Mallett Jr. Third is KC Keller. Fourth is Andrew Pierce. He's climbed his way up to fourth. Fifth is Mark Garner. Sixth, Tyler Brown. Seventh is going to be Chuck Golden. Eighth is Jason Ryan Jr. Ninth is going to be Jake Betancourt. And 10th will be Nicholas Zapatero. Your running order right now, coming around to complete lap number 14, is Fast Freddy Ryland crossing the line right now. Turn 1 goes around. Jason Ryan Jr., Jake Betancourt, and Nicholas Zapatero spun to keep from hitting the 29B. Yellow flag back out. Waiting to hear exactly what happened to Jason Ryan Jr. spun down in turn number 1. He's getting the credit for that yellow flag. Fast Freddy Ryland on the point. Jacob Mallett Jr. second. KC Keller is third. Andrew Pierce has climbed his way up to the 4th spot. 5th is going to be Mark Garner. 6th is going to be Tyler Brown. 7th is going to be Chuck Golden. 8th is Jason Ryan Jr. Jake Betancourt 9th, and 10th will be Nicholas Zapatero. That may change a little bit. Still waiting to hear. And then Matt Pitts at the back of the pack. Zapatero spun down there during that incident, but that was to avoid the incident. So there you got Jason Ryan Jr. getting to the back of the pack. Doubling him up. We are 13 laps in. 7 laps remain. Texas-style restart. Fast Freddy gets the lane to himself. Jacob Mallett Jr. chooses the high side, puts KC Keller down on the low side. Coming around to the green flag this time by Fast Freddy Ryland with control of the field, trying to make it 2 for 2 on the 2022 season here at Antioch Speedway. Fast Freddy up on the gas, down the front straightaway into turn number 1. KC Keller trying to get around Jacob Mallett Jr. Keller comes up the hill. Mallett had to get out of the gas just a little bit on the exit of turn number 2, put KC up to the 2nd spot. Mallett tries to cross over, coming up off turn number 4. 14 down, 6 to go for Fast Freddy and the rest of this field. Jacob Mallett Jr. gets a good run coming up off turn number 2 as KC slipped up the hill on the exit of the turn a little bit, so put the 127 up to 2nd. KC Keller back to 3rd. Mark Garner has cleared Andrew Pierce. Now Pierce is trying to hold off the 325 with Tyler Brown. As I say that, now he goes underneath Mark Garner and clears him. The center of that turn paying off for the 15P. That battle for 4th continues as Fast Freddy checking out with 4 laps remaining on this 20-lap main event for the Sports Modifieds. One more race to go. We got the Modifieds coming up next, but right now we still got 3 laps of racing for the Sports Modifieds as Fast Freddy checking out. 1.6 seconds last time, 1.78 seconds this time his lead over Jacob Mallett Jr. Well, here comes a battle for 3rd as Andrew Pierce working underneath KC Keller. Side by side into turn number 3. Put Andrew Pierce, well, nope, he slipped up a little bit. 3 and 4 right in the center of the turn. KC Keller drives back around him. 2 to go. Bob holding that green flag straight up in the air. Fast Freddy's going to come around to the white flag. This time Bob. Fast Freddy only has to hold on for 4 more turns. Keep it off the walls, keep it out of the infield, and he will take home win number 2 on the season for the Sports Modifieds here at Antioch Speedway. Goes down into turn number 3. Pretty line through 3 and 4. Fast Freddy Ryland sees a double checkered flag. Fast Freddy with the win. Jacob Mallow Jr. second. Casey Keller's going to get third. Andrew Pierce fourth. Fifth is going to be Tyler Brown sixth. Mark Garner seventh. It's going to be Chuck Dolan eighth. Jason Ryan Jr. Then Nicholas Zapatero, Jake Betancourt, and Matt Pitts. I'm heading down for victory lane. All right. Hey, it's working this time. That's Fast Freddie Ryland makes 2 for 2 on the 2022 season. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fast Freddie Ryland. Fred, you started deep in the field, but very quickly worked your way towards the front.
Yeah, it's IMCA. You gotta start in the back and get what you're taking. I got a little lucky to get by a few guys there, and capitalize with the win. So yeah, it was good. Car was good, fast. Track was pretty racy, little narrow, but not too bad. And I think the top was where it was at tonight.
Once you got around KC, you kind of got a little breathing room, and then Jacob Mallow Jr. came along and started giving you some pressure.
Yeah, I was expecting either him, KC, or actually the 33 car, but. Kale, but looks like something bad happened to him. So he can run, especially when the groove's on the top. And but yeah, it was good. Mallet, he's Razor 1-2. Good night.
So what do you got to do to make this 3 for 3? I mean, you're 2 for 2 in 2022 right now.
Yeah, it gets harder and harder as we go on. You start in the back more, and better drivers come, and you just gotta. It's just a dogfight to get to the front, and you hate to have any contact or anything. So I try to not have any of that. So hopefully tonight was pretty good.
Who do you want to say thanks to?
My wife, first and foremost. Hope you're having fun in Yosemite. And PFC Brakes, Frisian Chevrolet, Swift Springs, Weir's Machine, Ryland Racing, and my crew, Brian and Clayton, and James Thompson for helping out tonight. All spec sheet metal.
I was going to bring up Todd because he's going to owe you a bunch of money now.
Yeah, he's paying me, and I'm not saying it. I'll get back on it, Todd. I've said it many times, just been missing it. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fast Freddie Ryland. Congratulations, Fred. Thank you. Why, you don't want me to photobomb? All right, one more main event for the evening. We're going IMCA Modified Racing. Hey, Fabulous Bob. Hey, Bob. Fast Freddie giving away his door trophy. What's your name?
Savina.
What'd you just get? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Is Fast Freddie your favorite driver now?
Yeah.
All right. With that, we got the IMCA Modifieds rolling out, starting on the point. Well, scheduled, he may drop to the back. It is a 2C of Trevor Clements. On the outside of the front row, Terry DiCarlo Jr. in the 17 JR. Row 2 out of San Pablo, California, the U81. That's Bobby Motts Jr. Outside the second row. Our 2021 champion, the 6 car. Out of Prunedale, California, Jim Pettit. Your 5th starting spot. The 83 car. Out of Oakley, California, Kellen Chadwick. Starting 6 out of Martinez, California, winner last week. The 17 car of Quick Nick DiCarlo. 7th starter in the 28K, Buddy Niss. To his outside in that 8th starting spot in the 28G, Clark Guglielmone. Starting 9th in the 22G out of Vacaville, California, Paul Guglielmone. And at the back of the pack, in the 10th starting spot, the 228, it's Jeff Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, as they come around, get on your feet, wave your hands, your hats, jump up and down, make lots of noise. Give it up for the IMCA Modified.
So leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
Bad to the bone, Modified. Getting ready to go. Green flag racing here at Antioch Speedway. Green flag coming out this time by Trevor Clements. Did fall to the back of the pack. Puts Bobby Motts Jr. up on that lead position. Green flag in the air. Bobby Motts Jr. to the inside. Terry DiCarlo Jr. on the outside. Down to turn number 1. Bobby Motts, past champion here at Antioch Speedway. Comes up off turn number 2 with the lead. Terry DiCarlo Jr. got loose coming up off the turn. That bottles up Kellen Chadwick and the Buddy Niss cars. They both had to get out of the gas. They got a little bumper tag going on there. 1 lap down, 19 to go. 20-lap main event for the IMCA Modifieds. Now Kellen Chadwick underneath Terry DiCarlo Jr., as is Jim Pettit. He clears him going into turn number 3. Pettit now sets his sights on Chadwick. Pettit has a problem in the middle of 3 and 4, pushes up the hill, gives that spot back up to Terry DiCarlo Jr. Chadwick trying to reel Bobby Motts in. He's got about 3.5 car lengths right now as Pettit gets back underneath Terry DiCarlo Jr. Off turn 2, down back straightaway. That 6 car is handling like a dump truck in the center of 3 and 4. That thing just suddenly will not turn on the north end of the racetrack. Gets through turns 1 and 2 okay. But the last 2 laps through 3 and 4 in the center of 3 and 4, right about there, that car suddenly bobbles and he pushes up just like he did right there. And almost got into the side of Clark Guglielmone. He loses the spot. Battle for the lead off turn number 2 as Bobby Motts Jr. gets loose on the exit of the turn. He pushes up the hill, opens up the door. Kellen Chadwick side by side up off turn number 4 at the line. It's still Bobby Motts by about 1/2 a car length. Bobby Motts Jr., Kellen Chadwick. Jim Pettit up to the 3rd spot. Gets back around Guglielmone. Terry DiCarlo Jr. back to the 5th spot, but our battle for the lead continues as Kellen Chadwick down into turn number 1 gets out in front of Bobby Motts. Does he clear him? He does, and Motts has a problem in turn 2 and loses about 3 car lengths. Kellen Chadwick, Motts, he's another car pushing hard in the center of 3 and 4. Chadwick now checking out. Pettit trying to reel into U81. Bobby Motts, he's got Clark Guglielmone giving him pressure from behind. 1 car goes around. That is the 2C. No, that's 228. I'm sorry, of Jeff Brown. Having trouble down there in turns 1 and 2. Kellen Chadwick crossing the line. Going to put lap number 9 in the books. 11 laps remain. It is Kellen Chadwick, Bobby Motts, Jim Pettit, Terry DiCarlo Jr., then we've got Paul Guglielmo. I'm sorry, that's Nick DiCarlo up there in the 4th spot. Terry DiCarlo's back to the 6th spot now. Nick sneaking his way up through there. That's Chadwick, puts lap number 11 in the books, 9 to go. As Terry DiCarlo Jr. falling back through the field a little bit more. Nick DiCarlo now putting all kinds of pressure on the rear bumper of Jim Pettit. As our leader, Kellen Chadwick, still out front by a good margin over Bobby Motts Jr. Nick DiCarlo gets underneath Pettit. Pettit almost up into the wall into turn number 2. That car pushing over there in turn 2 that last time through. That car just not handling in the center of 3 and 4 still. DiCarlo still reeling in Bobby Motts Jr. after he got around the Pettit car. Should be a battle for second here in the next lap or two as Nick DiCarlo gets into turn number 3. Chadwick just checking out. He kind of had this run in the stock car last week and then ended up losing it when he got into lap traffic. Bobby Motts still in the 2nd spot, holding about a 2-car length lead over Nick DiCarlo. Kellen puts another lap in the books, 15 down, 5 to go. Here comes DiCarlo right on the rear bumper of Bobby Motts. Motts in the line that DiCarlo wants to use right now in turns 1 and 2. Comes up off turn number 2, down the back straightaway. DiCarlo dives low. Motts staying a little higher on the north end of the racetrack. Side by side coming up off turn number 4, but DiCarlo has to fall back in line. Motts down there on the low side. In turns 1 and 2 yet again. Kellen's going to be coming up on the 228 of Jeff Brown here in the next lap or 2. The first car is going to put a lap down. Mott's got a little bit of breathing room now over the DiCarlo car. 2 to go this time by for Kellen Chadwick. Battle for second, Bobby Motts. Looked like DiCarlo had to get out of the gas just a little bit coming up off turn number 4. Motts got loose. Chadwick coming up on the Jeff Brown car. White flag coming out this time by. One more time around for Kellen Chadwick, looking to take home his first win of 2022. Battle for second continues. Bobby Motts still has quick Nick DiCarlo all over his rear bumper. DiCarlo down on the low side, gets his bumper on the inside now. Coming down the back straightaway. Bobby Motts shuts the door. Kellen Chadwick takes a checkered flag. Battle for second. Motts gets sideways. Here comes DiCarlo up to turn 4. Bobby Motts with the 2nd place. Nick DiCarlo 3rd. 4th is going to be Jim Pettit. 5th, Terry DiCarlo Jr. 6th is going to be Clark Guglielmone, then Paul Guglielmone, Buddy Niss, Trevor Climans, and Jeff Brown. Heading down for victory lane.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Somebody's missing a cell phone, and it's got a character on the back. If you know who that character is, that's going to kind of show who it is. But if you're missing your cell phone, it is up in the booth. Kellen Chadwick clears the scales. Getting his belts off. Kellen getting his safety gear off, getting ready to climb out. Getting the helmet off. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kellen Chadwick. Well, Kellen, you got out front and just kind of checked out.
Yeah, we got a pretty good race car right now. This thing's been treating me really well. It's super, super good last week, too. And like I said, we were talking earlier, I gave one away. I just, I don't know, caught lap traffic, ran out of talent, forgot how to drive. I'm not real sure what I did, but I gave one away last week, and I don't enjoy that a whole lot. That one hurts, when I do it all on my own. So I guess a little bit of redemption.
You guys went green to checkered. Looked good. That car was just on a rail. You didn't seem to have a lot of the trouble. A lot of the cars had trouble down in 3 and 4, a major push down there, and you just seemed to go on through there.
Yeah, this like I said, this thing's been really, really good. So we're heading for Merced next week for that 5,000. So it's a good feeling knowing we got us a pretty good hot rod.
All right, you had fun in the stock car earlier?
Yeah, not bad. That thing's getting better and better. It's a lot of fun to drive. The left rear brake line was loose in it after the heat race, and then we found a hole in the radiator we had to get patched, and we didn't have a whole lot of time to tune on it for the feature, but it's getting better.
All right, who do you want to say thanks for helping you get out here?
First and foremost, my wife and kids, of course, giving me putting up with this shit. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It's people don't understand. It's like a whole nother job. You know what I mean? Keeping up on one of these things. So they allow me to do what I do, and my kids bust their tail helping me get everything done. A&B Landscape, FYE Motorsports Promotions, Speedway Motors Crate Engines, Polar Bear Rolled Ice Cream, Hoppus Motorsports, Pro Motorsports, Weir's Machine, Fast Shaft, Performance Bodies, Vanderbilt Race Cars. Just everybody. It's a group effort. It takes a lot to keep one of these things going, and without them, we couldn't do it for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our winner, Kellen Chadwick. Congratulations, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we got another one in the books. A beautiful night of racing where it looked like yesterday we weren't going to race because of the call of rain, and it just ended up being a gorgeous night here at Antioch Speedway. And we want to thank you for coming out. Those of you here in the stands that came out, I want to thank you all on Antioch Speedway TV. Don't forget, we're racing next week. We're going to have a lot of fun next week as we are in that season where we're at the track every week through October, basically. Got some interesting, different things coming up, of course, this year. But I want to say thanks to everybody that's a part of this. I want to say thanks to all the infield crews. Rich up in the race director up in the booth. Andrea, timing and scoring. The Bob and Kevin show, running the cameras up there and getting us all online. I do appreciate that. Thanks for all for you guys do. Thanks for all the fans that come out. Thanks for everybody in the crews and the pits and the drivers. And thank you for tuning in on Antioch Speedway TV and being here at Antioch Speedway. Coming up next week, we do have the 600 non-winged micro sprints in the house making their season debut, along with the Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks. The mini stocks making their season debut, and the Delta Dwarf cars will be back. So some great racing action in store for you next Saturday night. Keep an eye on the website at www.antiochspeedway.com. The Facebook page, Donnie taking over the Facebook page, doing a great job on there, keeping you updated on what's happening there. Thank you very much, Donnie, for all you do. Welcome back to Antioch Speedway. And keep an eye on that. Also, Antioch Speedway TV on Facebook. Wiley's Race Report on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll have a Wiley's Race Report coming up. Hopefully midweek is when I plan on releasing that. And folks, have fun. Be safe out there. And we look forward to having you back here next Saturday night for another exciting, fun-filled evening of racing. I'm Wiley Wade. Until then, good night, everybody.